Welcome back, everybody, to Sideline Banter, episode 14. We got co-host Mike here in the building. Abe is a little rat bastard, and he's in Connecticut and could not make it this week. But we have the fill-in of the century in Michael J. Kirby. Mike, how have you been? The people have been begging for you to get back on the show, and here you are, not only as a guest, but as a co-host. A lot of pressure on you. What are we thinking?
Just pressure to be myself. Happy to be back. Yeah, I think it's going to be a great one. Had to dress up, get a little fancy for it.
Nice.
It's a shame we're missing Ave, but I saw the comments going crazy. So I just had to step in, and give the people what they wanted.
Exactly. It's playoff baseball time. Mr. October is in the building. Jessica, you have a special guest of your own behind the camera. Would you like to introduce her?
I would love to. Hey everyone, I have Hannah B here. She is going to be our hockey expert.
Go.
She's going to be the
Electric.
co-producer with me. Hannah, you want to introduce yourself?
Hello everyone, this is Hannah B. I would like to give...
I would like to make an announcement. Go ahead, what do you got?
No, I just wanted to give a special shout out to Miss Pam.
Wow,
that's a good shout out.
Let's go.
That's
That's
a great
monster shout out. Yeah, what's up, Mom? I know you're listening. Anyway, that's Hannah B. She is our hockey expert. We'll see how that goes when we get to that part. But she's also, I believe, an Indianapolis Colts fan.
You believe right.
Let's go. All right, so she's locked in. She might. We'll see how this goes this week. We signed her to a 1-week contract. If things go well, we might see her.
Yeah,
again.
Mike has the extended contract because he did so well.
Mike had the 1-weeker, and look, now
Hot
he's a
waiver
co-host. Yeah,
It's like Kill
huge.
Tony. We brought back the
regular
what's the
golden ticket.
Sure, fine.
I don't know.
I don't actually watch it.
Yeah,
I don't know why I was doing that.
She goes, "Let me reference something I've
Don't
never
worry, I'll
seen."
be back.
Yeah, all right, she'll be back. Anyway, there goes everybody. So, Jessica, I guess that leaves it over to you with the news. You got anything for us fun, or are we jumping right into the agenda?
No, Luke, I know each week now you're trying to get this away from me.
Yeah.
But I am going to start off with something. I have to take my happiness down a few notches because I was really, really sad about the Philadelphia Phillies.
Oh.
I was just like...
We don't have to talk about
No. I think it's important, especially for Mike, who's your friend who's a Mets fan?
Bick.
Yeah,
Bickle.
especially for him.
He actually
fun
reached
fact-
out and said, "You better."
Fun fact, he said a lot of words to me I won't say on the pod, but he basically said you better talk about those Mets. But like in between talking about and then those.
Yeah.
There was a cuss word in there?
Yeah, there's a lot of
No,
words.
we'll
Yeah.
talk about I have plenty to say about
the Mets are going to be
actually.
spoken
Shout
about.
out Bick though.
Yeah, shout out Bick. He actually went light on me if he was tough on you. He was actually very respectful to me.
Some would say the house.
Some would say the house.
Well,
I'll tell you, it was horrible timing. I was like upset at the Phillies, and then in commercial breaks, I was scrolling through TikTok, and Hurricane Milton was around.
oh,
And I was
true.
seeing all of the animals that were stranded.
I'm
Oh,
sorry,
Hannah, this is
Hannah,
a
but
sad
this is
moment.
sideline
No,
banter,
this is a
and
sad-
the Phillies' loss is way worse than those
No,
animals
that
getting
is
soaked
sad.
in the
Two things
hurricane.
that were both sad.
No, the
I
farm
actually
animals.
shedded tear that night.
Yeah, the farm animals that were like they were going back and finding them. I don't want to.
No,
Hannah,
it's
that's
like,
too sad.
No, it's
That
like
was-
seeing like Bones
This is playoff
Ball
baseball we're
called-
talking
I'm saying
about
our
here.
Phillies.
No,
Yeah.
Bones Ball called a foul,
Yeah.
and then I'm on TikTok, and there's a squirrel that's hanging onto the cage.
No, it's a good point.
Yeah, I can see that being a
appreciate
tough
it.
back-to-back,
Yeah.
actually.
Don't
now
worry,
that I'm
don't
thinking
worry
about it.
though. To pivot back,
Yeah, what do we got?
I have some stats because I really want our Mets fans to feel really good about this, and I'm going to feel really bad. In 4 games against the Mets, the Phillies batted as a team a .186 with a .597 OPS. They struck out 38 times. They walked 16 times. I mean, our pitching had. We had
The bullpen's horrible.
it was our bullpen was 11 point. Our bullpen had an 11.37 ERA in the series. It was the 5th highest ERA in any bullpen in any series in postseason history.
Oh. I was gonna make a joke, like a not that bad joke, and she follows it up with 4th worst in the history
Yeah,
of postseason.
just hammers
Fifth
the
worst.
Fifth worst. All right, sorry.
5th highest, and
Not that
lastly,
bad, then.
I have to bring it up. In that what was it? Game 3, Alec Bohm saw 5 pitches across 4 at bats.
0 for 4.
Yeah. We can finish there. We can continue on the Mets later in the show. I do have something else. I just really wanted to
I think our 5 through 9 was .059 batting average in that series.
Yes, I think that's accurate.
Yeah. Anyway, is that your new? Is that new?
That's not my
what's
news.
the statement behind that, or you just wanted to let it
sad.
rip?
My statement's sad. Sad
Yeah.
about the Phillies. That's what my statement is.
Yeah.
We can move on. All right. Luke hates this. Mike, maybe you'll like it. So last week I started, since it's the month of October, I love...
No, I thought this was cool. I actually...
You liked it? The Frankenstein?
Yeah, but I built a completely different player than you
See,
guys.
that's what I was
fine.
hoping would happen, because theirs is probably...
What?
Like, none of you guys mentioned prime Russell Westbrook for anything. And I
For
thought...
what?
Anything.
Well, which one would
Athleticism.
you... Who did we go with?
Bounce. Pure athlete. Like, almost anything.
Oh, well, we'll have to circle back and listen to that pod. We'll bring it up on the next pod you're on.
I do have
We'll
one. It's
pencil it
Mike, I'm
down.
happy for you to be so passionate about
Yeah.
the Frankenstein
All right.
one. So this week, I'm going to do vampire teams. So which sports team this season seems to suck the life out of their competition, but just won't go away, even when everyone thinks they're done?
Ah.
I'm going to say mine. You guys feel free to do what you need.
You said playoff team?
Any
Can we say
any
a couple?
sport.
Just throw some
Go
around.
ahead.
Okay.
The first thing that comes to mind for me is the Chiefs this year. Like, they're a
Wow.
team that you
That's
think
a
are...
great one.
Yeah.
That's a great
Go ahead.
one.
I'm going to go on
That's
mute.
a really
No,
good
I
one.
mean, I
Jessica.
don't think you should go on mute yet. I don't think you know or realize how good of an answer
I
that is.
do, because
They're
I said it.
5 and... All right.
Not only are they 5-0, they're actually ranked 29th
Yeah, they're undefeated.
in pace of offense. Like, they're like literally
Yeah.
one of the slowest offenses.
It's such
in-
a, like, if
in
you
the
have
league.
a good enough coach and a good enough quarterback, you just kind of find a way to win. Because they are ugly this year.
You put a running back that just has 2 feet, a right one and a left one. It can't have 2 lefts. It's got to be a right and a left.
That's true.
And then Patrick Mahomes can do anything you want him to do.
Yeah. We're going to talk about this actually later on now that I'm realizing it. So let's maybe pump the brakes a little
Yeah,
bit.
sorry.
That's a great response for Vampire Team. Off the bat, for whatever reason, this might be a niche one that we need Abe here for. But for me, was that Colombian South, what was it? The Copa America team, the Colombian team. They were just like, would not go away. They didn't end up winning. Did they? No, Argentina won. But every game they had, they were just like
Battling.
annoying.
I'm pretty sure
to
every
play
game was
against.
also only like 1 goal. I'm like, I don't think they actually even lost like a counter late or anything.
They just like aren't necessarily like, there's no superstar on that team. At least not this year. They used to have James, but they just, yeah, they battled through that whole tournament. Nobody could beat them, and they were like annoying about it. They're very aggressive. And then obviously the Mets. Sorry if I stole.
I don't think you think you would put the Mets in there. Like, I hate to say this because they're not to hammer down the sadness, but they kind of whooped on us.
Yeah,
Like,
but
I don't
it
think
was
they're
always like
hanging
at
in
the whole playoffs has been like at the. They score like 6 runs in the 8th inning. That's it. Like that's when they score. Like
Yeah,
you
but
know,
they're hot.
But you
Game 3, they were up 4-1 in like 4th or 5th inning. That game was. I knew that game was over for the 6th.
They did
Yeah,
suck
but
the
even
life
against
out of
the
the
Brewers
Phillies.
and before then, like they weren't even a playoff team.
Oh,
and they
that's what
couldn't
you
give
mean.
up on
I
them.
thought you only meant
Not just
playoffs. My bad.
particular. Yeah, no. I would say the past 2 months or so.
Yeah,
But yeah, there was the one game where they just straight up beat us. But even the Brewers and a few of the games against us, it was like, yeah, we're winning, and I don't feel confident.
yeah, like doesn't make sense.
Like when we were up 1-0 in that last game, nobody felt like we were winning. We were playing like we were losing. Anyway, I felt like the Mets sucked the life out of you and then beat you up right at the end. So who's your?
I was trying to think of one as we were talking about it. That's why I
Life
wasn't
sucker.
just being lackadaisical and answering you.
I thought maybe the Steelers. What do you think about the Steelers?
I was kind of thinking that. I was also leaning Broncos.
Mm-hmm. I thought Broncos too. My only thing is like,
Broncos-
I don't know if they're actually winning that much.
I'm
But
pretty
Steelers were undefeated.
like they're like the best defense in the league. Like it's not like I mean Steelers and the Broncos, but I'm
Yeah,
saying
that's why they're winning.
I think even statistically wise, it is the Broncos. Even the Broncos almost lost against the Raiders. They got a pick
They did.
6 that Patrick Surtain returned for 90 yards.
Yeah, I thought Broncos too.
And then they're like, hey, guess what? You're just not going to score the rest of the game. They didn't let up 1 more point the rest of the game.
Yeah.
They only won, I think
they won by a touchdown.
it was 18-10. But that's my point. I was going to say, it's not like they put up 21 points,
Mm-hmm.
28 points. I mean, like to your point, the Steelers and Broncos are definitely winning by
Yeah,
playing
I did
defense,
not
but-
think Chiefs, but when Jessica said it, I was like,
Yeah, that was a
"Damn,
great
that's
shout."
great. I wonder what like the
Stunned me.
NBA version of that would be. Maybe like the Heat in the past couple years.
Oh, yeah, like the Jimmy Butler Heat
Like the
kind
Heat
of thing.
just making it to the finals. Like, what the hell was
I
that?
kind of think the Mavs, too. Like, Mavs
sure.
Timberwolves, like, I hate to say it. Like, I know, like, they're great now, and you're like, oh, these teams
the Knicks,
could make it to the final.
Knicks are kind of that
Knicks
way.
are a good one,
Just
too.
last year, but
no, even them before, like, they battled. But I think it's funny because, like, you look at these teams now, and you're like, oh, they can make the NBA championship. But it's like, realistically, if you look at it over even 3 years, it's like they're close games. Like, they got better each year, and like, they competed. And, like, even the Mavs, they might, like, we're saying, like, Luka might be the best player in the league, like, whatever. But I'm pretty sure, like, every single game was, like, almost 10 points. Like, I don't think they blew anyone out. Like, Luka would just start pulling, and they would pull away.
yeah, it's really Luka being a dog.
Yeah.
Especially at the end of the game. You know what I was thinking of when you were saying that was that like 07 to 2011 Tampa Bay Rays team with like Carl Crawford and Matt Garza and Shields.
Carl Crawford's a great shout.
Yeah, and who else was on that? Oh, Pena was that
Carlos
first.
Pena?
Yeah, Carlos
Dropping
Pena.
nukes.
Yeah.
Wasn't Longoria on that team?
That team, yeah, Longoria. So they would
Dog.
have, like the Yankees and Red Sox would come in first and second. Everyone cared about them. But like the Rays would just sneak into the wild card. That's who we beat in the World Series.
You could kind of say the Royals now, too. Sorry, but that just popped in my brain,
Yeah,
too.
and the 15-16 Royals that got to the World Series.
Alex
Like, that was
Gordon?
like- yeah, and Hosmer.
Yeah, you know who else was on that team, too? Was, Jesus, now I'm drawing a blank. The catcher literally now.
Yeah, Perez.
Yeah.
Salvador Perez.
Insane.
Yeah, and that little pitcher who's
I don't remember the pitchers, to be honest with you.
he actually died. Dead.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, he died when he was 24. But he
Now
was,
in the coffin, some would say.
yeah. He Ventura was his name. R.I.P. He was really good. Kind of a hothead, but he was really good. Yeah, that Royals team's another good example. I feel like the Jason Kidd Nets for some reason, or was that a good team?
They were nice.
Yeah, with Vince Carter and Richardson.
You know, this will be my last one.
Yeah, then we can move on.
Any Suns with Steve Nash, Sean Marion, and Amari Stoudemire. They won a lot, but they were never.
Boris Diaw.
But you knew they weren't. You knew
Who's
they.
the Brazilian guy? Raja Bell.
Yeah. You beat me to it.
That was a good team. That was a really.
Yeah, and they won a lot, but they had a lot of close games. You knew they were kind of.
What about that AK-47 Darren Williams Boozer Jazz team?
That's a good one. Fine, I'll do one more than just.
I can't stop.
Mike Bibby,
yeah,
Peja Stojakovic, Kings,
Miller,
yeah,
Webb, Martin. Damn. All right, we got to get off early 2000s teams. Yeah. All right, Jessica, there you go.
That was a good one. Yeah,
was
you got the juices.
You got our grinded out
that's why I
vampire
did it.
suck the life out of your teams.
If Mike doesn't know, I rarely will read our agenda, so
there's no clue what's coming.
I often will say things, and Luke's like, "No, that's on the agenda." So I just decided to get you guys going. Like,
yeah, I'm sweating now.
Yeah,
that was a good one.
Perfect.
Yeah,
that's all I had to get our juices flowing.
Doesn't get enough gas for those.
Yeah, but you text us and say how great she is, and then you're like our only listener. So you're
just
gonna go home and listen.
Me, Wancho, and Aunt Pam,
and Bick.
Bick does listen.
Nah, actually, your boys listen a lot. Like I know Giuseppe. I don't know.
Shout out Juice Box,
yeah.
Box, Giuseppe.
You think Deary listens?
He's all one person, by the way.
Isn't he also the barn, or was he?
The shed.
The shed.
Deary listens sometimes, I think, but not often. He's a fake friend.
He definitely does.
Fake friend only.
He definitely doesn't. He's the couch. That's why he's the couch. All right. If that's all Jessica had for the news, then we can move on to the agenda. And we'll just start with because the first thing that we have in the agenda is pretty much what he was talking about, which is that Phillies Mets series.
Let me start it.
Okay.
Let me start it.
She's worked up.
Yeah. She's like, I was tame for the news.
What the worst part about this for me, and I think Luke can say it too, and Dave Amaro will say it too, is that Lindor is such a nice guy.
He's a king.
He hit a grand slam, and we all were like, well,
love him.
Yeah.
The coolest part about that, and like you don't want to give him any kudos and anything like that.
He just dropped the bat.
And I want to say, like, you guys are making Bick go aroused right now the way we're talking about this.
He deserves it.
But exactly what you guys just said is like, it was just another day. Like for him, like hitting that and like it won them the game. It was literally.
I don't think he opened his mouth. Like, he was nose breathing to stay calm, which every hitter does.
That heart rate was 200, and he was just
his heart rate was probably like 45.
Oh my God.
Dude. He ripped that shit into center field and just put his bat down, jogged around, gave his high fives. I don't think he opened his mouth until I don't know when. He had to go take a sip of water.
Hit him plate, something.
He was like, yup. But honestly, he threw him 4 fastballs in a row. I don't care that you throw 98 to 100, Estevez. That is the most.
He was throwing 100 every single pitch.
Yeah, well, it's Francisco Lindor. He's a top 5 hitter in the MLB. Like, you cannot throw somebody 4 straight fastballs. You just can't. You know how easy. The reason why it looks so easy is because it was. When you're that good, especially him from the left side, if you throw the same pitch, no matter what pitch it is, 4 times in a row, he will hit it, period. And the bases were loaded. And then sure enough, the next batter, he throws 2 sliders in a row.
But is that on JT?
Yes. Yes, it's on both of them. I mean, it was his first hitter. So you do want to kind of get the groove and the feel for the mound. But you just cannot throw 4 fastballs in a row.
Quick hot take, though, too. I don't know if that's on JT, to be real. And just hear me out first.
Unless he's shaking him and saying,
well, not even that.
I want to throw a fastball.
Think about it. When they bring the pitcher in, right? I'm the coach. I'm sitting there. I'm waiting with the ball to give to you, right?
Yeah.
I just think JT's a better game caller than that, and I think he's shown that he is a better game caller than that. I think there was something when he gave him the ball, and it was like,
just throw fastballs.
We're going to gas him up really quick. Like, we're going to try to catch him off guard.
Yeah,
I think they got something like that.
That's possible. I just feel like that's less likely.
I actually think it's opposite. I think that JT has a reputation for being a good game caller, pitch-wise. I think that genuinely...
Either way, no matter what happened, it was the wrong decision to throw him 4 fastballs in a row. That is the dumbest thing I've ever seen.
And I'm down to blame it on JT because that bat was useless. So, like, he might as well have just, like, shoved it.
That was crazy. I mean, I'm not a big proponent of a catcher needs to be a good hitter. Like, I think it's a luxury that we have him. But he was horrible. He wasn't even, like, a bad hitter. He was horrible. He did get hit a couple times.
I would argue 5-hole and 2-hole hitter is also like the most important in playoffs.
In what context?
Like, you need those guys, one, because 3-hole, 4-hole can't produce if second's not producing, right? Like,
yeah, I mean, I would just say that.
And 2-hole usually your best hitter anyway.
Because the teams that have a 2 and a 5-hole who end up doing well
end
up winning. Because that 1, 3, and 4.
But doesn't that prove the point more?
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's why I said in what context. Because the 1, 3, and 4 are going to produce. Yeah. Those are your guys. If 2 and 5 do, you're going to go win. But Trey Turner did nothing, and Alec Boehm did. So there you go.
True.
That's our 2 and our 5.
I always
That's
mix
not
up.
True. Alec Boehm popped up every single ball that he hit.
Exactly.
I also mix up because JT batted 5 last year, and I keep thinking he's batting 5. That's my bad.
No, but you ended up being right. And guess what?
Yeah,
they had Vientos batting second, and he hit like 450. I was gonna say randomly wasn't bad, but he came up I think in May this year, 27 bombs. He batted like 265 or something, but still 27 bombs getting called up in May is legit. And then they had Jose Iglesias batting 5th. And
he led off the playoffs with a home run, right?
No.
Oh, who's that young guy?
No, it was him.
Oh.
I think he doubled first and then homer.
Oh.
I don't think it was his first at bat because that would have been the first inning of the first game. And Schwarber homered and put
I think it was the wild card game.
Ooh, it might have been.
Yeah.
Anyway,
it wasn't against us.
Yeah. Phillies Mets, we deserve to lose.
Yeah.
Long story short.
I think it's bad managing too. I don't like taking
hated it.
I don't
Horrible. Horrible. Horrible.
Well, even game 3, like, you just got to play your best players, and we literally didn't. Like, you sat. I know Brandon Marsh isn't hot, but you sat him.
He's horrible.
Yeah, but
he's gone. By the way, so is Boehm. Stop maybe too.
You think Boehm's gone too?
No, he's gone. He's the most gone.
Oh, really?
Inside info. Thank God not
insider
too many people listen to this, but Boehm's gone.
Well, you said insider info.
I have insider info. Luke
we
gets
have
it from
insider
me.
info.
Well, that's on you guys for saying insider info is what I'm saying.
Hey, everyone knows it if you're watching.
I'm just saying.
Going viral.
I'm just saying he's gone.
Yeah, this is a clip.
This is a clip.
No, he's gone. But he's cheap and he's young, so people will trade for him because his contract's not huge. And apparently he's just a big fat pussy in the locker room.
I could see that.
Yeah, like people
Well,
are like,
you
hey,
see
we're going
how
to try to
emotional
go
he
win
is.
the World Series. And you're like all bent out of shape because you struck out. Like fucking figure it out. Sorry for cussing, Mom. Figure it out and go make a play in the infield and then hit a home run next at bat. And he's like very high school.
Yeah, I know we'll get to this though, like in a bit.
Oh, we're here. This is the Phillies Mets part.
I was gonna compare him to someone. Prime example is looking at Stanton. Like, guy just has not been hot at all, and then he literally goes down and single-handedly wins the Yankees series in that last game.
Yeah, Bohm did not do that. Though.
So
my point is that he actually, like, to your what you said,
you can.
He was like, "Oh, I'm not doing well. Guess what?
I'm gonna just do my job.
Yeah, we're gonna win. I'm gonna get up again.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna be
I'm gonna
like
try my best.
I'm not gonna be a kindergartner and
I'm not gonna go
pal in the
0
corner
for 4 on 5
and
pitches.
pal in the corner.
Yeah, that's exactly what's happening.
That's
so,
what I'm saying.
Bohm's gone, Suarez gone, which sucks. But
Suarez was the Cy Young.
they've even talked about this on the TV, so it's not that inside information, but definitely confirmed. So funny. He finally got his family to come and live in America. That's been like something the Phillies have been trying to help with. And
we helped 97.
Apparently he just like is gained like 25 pounds since they got here because
his mom is making food.
Wife and mom are here.
Well,
just making
I have
food,
super
just chilling
insider
out.
stuff that we're not going to say about Ranger, but he was having a good time.
He was having a good time before
with his
family showed up.
and now he can't have a good time.
Yeah. So now he's just like, hasn't been performing as well as we all know. But that game was pretty good. He pitched fine in my opinion. Got out of a couple jams.
He actually probably pitched better than anyone, kind of.
I
5
thought our
innings, no
pitching,
runs.
I thought our
Wheeler-
pitching was
Wheeler was
fine.
Some people were saying he was going to pitch
I don't think
3
our
innings.
pitching was bad at all,
he
honestly.
could have been yanked in the third. But
That's what I'm saying. But like him going 5 is more than
that was the
expected,
best managed part of the whole series.
which is sad.
Yeah.
I take that back. I said I don't think our pitching was bad, and then I remembered
The
Hoffman came
bullpen
in.
was. The starting pitching was not that bad. Nobody pitched that bad. I thought Sanchez was throwing like too many strikes almost. Wheeler obviously was phenomenal. Sanchez it looked like he didn't have his best stuff and he grinded through it, but you can't be mad at someone who goes 5 innings, no runs. Like sometimes you don't have your stuff and you got to find a way to get through it, and he did. So hat off to him. And Nola, I mean, wasn't bad. Our bullpen was embarrassing.
You also just got to – the whole being down is just so unbelievably massive in playoff baseball. Like if you looked at us, right, where we go down 1-0, right? And you can see like even Bryce Harper, he's
Dude, we were up 1-0 and they had that reaction.
only one game though. That's what I'm saying.
I know.
The games aside that when we're down, Bryce Harper's literally trying to hit the ball 800 yards, dropping down the one knee. Like you put that in reverse. Like what does Pete Alonso do when he gets a
opposite
strike?
field.
But I'm saying if
great.
they're down, like put the shoe on the other foot. Do they get more aggressive kind of thing? Like this whole relying on home runs to get runs on the board is just never the recipe.
No, just get one at a time, chip away.
Yeah, I think it's like you look at like Schwarber, right? Like it's cool. Yeah, it is awesome seeing a leadoff home run. It's incredible. Gets the juices going. And he's also just not. He's not a leadoff hitter.
Steven Kwan
He's not a leadoff
to come
hitter.
at 320 in our leadoff spot and hit
and
0 home runs. I want 0 home runs.
That's what I'm saying.
Batter.
I could care less.
If he hits a home run, send him to the AAA.
Yeah,
that's how badly I just want
it's electric.
a regular leadoff
It's
batter.
electric, but yeah, that's what I mean. You just need a guy that's gonna get at least 4 pitches.
Get on, steal second, let 2, 3, and 4 hit
steal.
you
Just
in.
have a little bit of speed.
Trey,
if
how about
anything.
Trey just not running the bases too? He just like what a waste of talent that was all season.
Yeah, I hate it too because he's my favorite player.
Yeah. Fun fact about the Mets situation right now: they beat the Brewers obviously in the wild card game. Every single team to beat the Brewers in the playoffs has made the World Series in the history of the Major League Baseball, including the Phillies in 2002.
Pickle's doing jumping jacks right now.
Yeah. Biggle's sweating as much as he ever has.
Wow,
in
did the
past
Mets
4
go to
years.
the World Series?
So-
That's insane. I didn't know that.
I heard that
Statistic.
before this series. I didn't share it because I did not want that to happen, but I mean, I still don't really want that to happen. Although then I'd have to be rooting for the Dodgers and Padres, who I'm not all that excited about either.
Justice for Shohei.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, we'll get to that in like probably 2 minutes. But the last thing I want to discuss, like brief overview of that series. I didn't think the Mets were phenomenal. I thought the Phillies played like shit. I don't want to disparage what the Mets did. They were a tough team to beat, but I didn't think the starting pitching in particular was great. I think
Only Mana. That's it.
even Minea, I thought we
can't
hit him
even
kind of
pronounce
hard.
his
It's all right. I think he's like Hawaiian. He left pitches over the plate that we didn't handle, and they did. Like we would have him 0-2. We'd try to get cheeky and throw a strike like right over the black, and they would nuke those pitches. And it's like, dude, you got a guy 0-2, just throw it in the dirt.
Yeah,
just throw in the dirt,
or at least away.
Try
like
to
not
make him
up and
swing.
in.
Like he shouldn't be able to hit it, even if he swung. That's what an 0-2 pitch should be. And we would leave like a changeup on the inside corner. It's like, how is that? Who's calling that pitch? So I just think the Phillies like played very, very poorly in their approach, and in their talent. But even their approach was bad. They're swinging themselves out of counts, and they're pitching themselves into major contact. Mets deserved to win. Phillies did not. Lindor's a king. Pete Alonso's good at baseball, but he's kind of weird.
He's a loser.
I'm ready to talk Dodgers Padres if you are, but
yeah,
you can close out the Mets Phillies if you had anything else.
No, I just think it's interesting if Thompson comes back. I think if you don't want to go full revamp.
I think he's gone. I'm firing him.
I think he has to be. I just think Harper's getting up there. I think you got JT getting up there. Like if you got Nola, he's getting up there.
Thompson's got to be gone.
I know. I'm just saying, like you don't want to go for a full rebuild, so you kind of want to bring someone in that's ready to rock.
Yeah. One last little thing. Unreal that we have Austin Hayes on this team. What a wasted trade deadline move. Should have been Rooker the whole time from Oakland. So obvious, easiest GM move of all time. Austin Hayes was a net negative by $1 million, and anyway, couldn't move on from the Philly season without saying that. So that's that. Dodgers Padres. This is also a very exciting series. It's not quite East Coast baseball. We have the best fans in the world. Philly #1, obviously. Citizens Bank is the best. Mets and Yankees a close second. Dodgers, Padres, great rivalry. Nonetheless, out on the West Coast, Tatis is incredible. He's got like the #1 OPS,
over 1,000
slugging, batting average.
He's pushing
everything.
2,000 OPS.
Yeah, in his playoff career, and it's the most in playoff history. It's like first in all these stats if you've had like 40 or 50 at-bats. I forget what the qualification was.
I don't know if anyone remembers it, but I did say bring back steroids for baseball in the last pod.
You did.
I agree.
And he's a prime
he's
example.
Been juicing, he's been banged before. Yeah, he's gotten called before.
So, give him the juice.
But yeah, so that series is tied at 2-2. Tatis and his steroid usage just carrying the Padres into those 2 wins for them. As they are rivals and a part of the same division, I don't know if you saw this, Mike, but Machado threw the ball over into the Dodgers dugout. It wasn't like it was no fastball, but it definitely wasn't a toss.
There was some intent behind that.
Yeah,
without a doubt. And he's kind of like...
It was almost like I threw that hard enough to piss them off, but soft enough to make them look like...
For me to play a little victim still.
Yeah, to make them look soft for complaining about it. Because like it did hit the front of the dugout. It's not like it went in the dugout and hit somebody.
Which was also on purpose. But
yeah, and in between innings, the third baseman always...
But also throws it to the
up.
opening, so like the guys don't have to go out in front of the net and get the ball.
Yeah. So that was definitely a mental play from Machado, which he's prone to do.
He's kind of scummy.
Yeah.
He's like known for that.
Sometimes you hate it, sometimes you love it. It depends how good he is at it.
The guy you love on your team, the guy you hate to play against.
Yeah, but like when he ran over that dude at first base and like stepped on, he actually tore his Achilles. He stepped on the dude's ankle.
I'm all for running into him, but the stepping on them, you don't do it. You got metal cleats on.
But other things he's done are funny.
Yeah.
He's crossed the line a couple of times, but it happens.
He's like an Adrian Beltre.
No.
Just not as dirty.
Beltre's a sweetheart.
Or dirtier, sorry.
No. He's like, this is fun.
I thought that was a good one.
No, Beltre's a sweetheart.
He was a scumbag in the early in his career. That's what I'm saying.
No, he was not.
Yeah, he was.
Are you sure?
Yes.
If you're sure, then I'm fine with it.
He used to fight, and he used to like throw in like when you try to break up a double play, he would slide like an extra person out.
I feel like Machado's like a DB. He's just a defensive back. Football. Where like a lot of times they're annoying. Sometimes they make a nice play, and it's like
Rodgers not annoying like that.
Who?
Like Rod? You said a defensive back.
Yeah.
You mean like football?
Yeah, football.
I thought you were being fancy.
Oh no, like a cornerback.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, Machado's like annoying.
Yeah,
but sometimes like that was.
I thought you were being like fancy, like an English guy.
Yeah, what sport did you think I was?
Soccer.
Oh, no.
But no, that's a good one, actually. Like the cornerback that the ball goes over his head, no one can catch it, and he's like celebrating.
Yeah.
Good shout.
All right. So Mookie Betts has been kind of sucking in that series, but he had a great last game or two. I think just great last game. Anyway, that game 5 starts in like a half hour.
He's fun.
Mookie?
I like people like him and Chaz that like they're great.
Chisholm?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like they're both outfielders. They're both phenomenal fielders in the outfield, but it's like, hey, if you put me at shortstop, second base, or third base,
I can do that too.
I can also field great there.
He might win a Gold Glove.
Yeah.
At shortstop.
Which is awesome.
Yeah, I love that.
Volpe might too.
Tonight's game, I'd put my mortgage on Shohei to hit a homer. Just throwing that out there really quick. But it's Yamamoto versus Yu Darvish, which is sick.
Should I? Keep it be very honest.
She's quiet for like 5 minutes.
Look at those eyes actually haven't blinked.
I'm literally in FanDuel right now.
100 gambler.
I turn that down when that comes on the radio. What should I do it and how much?
No, the odds are probably horrible. Probably not even worth it.
I hate that. What should we add to it?
Take him to hit 2 then.
Do you want to have fun first? Can I bring up something? The one I sent you guys?
No, not yet.
Oh my God,
Okay.
yeah.
We'll get there.
We will get there. That was a great one.
I couldn't resist, sorry.
So yes or no? Should I check? I'll check it out. You guys keep talking.
But anyway, it's Yamamoto versus Yu Darvish, which is kind of it's the first time 2 Japanese starters have pitched against each other in the playoffs. And it's kind of a passing of the torch. Yu Darvish still can do his thing, but
He's old as dirt.
yeah, he's he's pretty old.
He's like 38, ain't he?
Yeah. And Yamamoto, but he's nice. He's still
No
throwing.
one's saying he's not nice. I'm just saying he's old.
Yeah.
He'd be both.
It's tough to say old as dirt when he's still good,
Why?
I guess. No, you're right. I'm wrong. But anyway, Yamamoto is a rookie, and he's very, very good.
Very, very good.
So it'll be a great matchup. Hopefully we see the end of it. We'll see how long this podcast goes. But yeah, that series ends tonight. The winner will play the Mets. And I will probably be rooting for whoever wins this game tonight.
I think whoever wins this game tonight too also has a better chance. Sorry, Bick. But
Yeah, sorry, Big too, but those Mets are tough to beat, man. I'm telling you.
I think it's a
the
tough
Phillies
team to
weren't
beat.
playing well.
I just think the pitching carries these teams against them.
I honestly just think like if the Mets need to play better than they did against the Phillies. The Phillies played badly. The Mets deserve to win. All that is true, but I think if the Mets play the same way, they would lose against the Padres or the Dodgers, even though they deserve to win.
I agree.
The Phillies series. So, yeah. Anyway, moving over to the AL, the Yankees won their series last night against the Royals. Judge has been some serious dog cheese. He is batting like 150, I think.
Yeah, Leanne's
something
pissed.
like that. Shout
Shout out Leanne, but she's pissed.
Shout out Lily. I mean, they won at the end of the day. It can't be about is Judge playing good or bad. They won in 4. You just got to hope he turns it around, obviously. But at the end of the day, if they're winning games, although 3 out of the 4 games were decided by 1 run, and the one that wasn't was the Royals winning by 2. So they were all close games. Judge hasn't really shown up.
Really quick, just to like hammer that down more.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, but
No.
so we went to game 1.
Yeah.
It looks more pathetic in person. Like it actually got to a point to where.
So Yankees fans are not happy even though they won in 4. They're kind of like really 1 run against the Royals every game. Yeah, I can see that.
Matthew, Leanne, and I looked at each other and we're like, is he swinging? Like we were saying, he looks like Howie from Benchwarmers. Like he looks like he's swinging a sword in person. Yeah, like it's. I can't like that's why I'm lost for words because it literally looks like he's like holding it against him and like just trying to jump it through the plate. Like it is horrific. He looks lazy.
Yeah, and honestly, on paper, you would think the Yankees should run through the rest of the teams. I guess meaning the Guardians and the Tigers, but they're both kind of like electric. But those teams aren't
hot at the right time.
Yeah, kind of like the Mets. Like I take the Mets over the Yankees right now. If they were in the World Series next series, I would put my money on the Mets.
How cool would a Subway Series be for the World Series?
That'd be awesome. That would be the only reason I would root for either of those teams, to be honest with you.
That'd be so cool. New York would also be in so much trouble.
Yeah, honestly, I would definitely whoever plays against the Mets and the Yankees, I would find myself rooting for.
I would probably go to a game because like Leanne's as big of Eagles fans we are. Leanne's definitely Yankees.
Yeah. So I would root for the Guardians and the Tigers over the Yankees. So don't invite me. I mean, invite me if you want. But
They'll be expensive tickets. I don't think you'll want to go.
okay, don't invite me. But yeah, the Subway Series would be the coolest series. I'm just saying, ironically, I don't want either of those teams to win.
Yeah, I just thought it'd be something cool. That's all.
It would be the best because otherwise you'd have like the Tigers against the Dodgers. Who wants?
Yeah.
I want the Subway Series. I also want those teams
Yankees,
to feel all
Dodgers.
the pain. In the
I would
world.
see. I'll be real. I want the Yankees to win. Like I'll be the. I'll be the.
Well,
I'll be the good husband.
I don't have any attachment to them.
But I also think like seeing the Yankees against anyone in the NL is the best matchup. That's exciting.
Not the Padres. Well, yeah. Out of the AL,
That's
obviously
what I'm saying.
the Yankees
That's what I
are
said
the most
against
exciting.
anyone in the
Yeah,
NL.
okay. Yeah, fair enough. Anyway, so that's what's going on. Yankees, Royals, Yankees won. Still close games. Yankees fans are not all that confident, although they did advance. So hopefully for them, they can figure that out. Jessica's got something to say before we get to the Cleveland-Detroit series.
Before we move off the Yankees, Hannah has a theory about Aaron.
Oh, I don't want to say it on the air.
You have to.
No, I just have a theory that he was created by the government. But
She
we'll
tells
talk
me
about
this
that later.
She tells me this very
He is
seriously.
an old rookie.
Though.
He was an old
rookie. Apparently, he's this elite high school and college athlete. No one heard of him until he was like 28 and
what's that
in
about?
the MLB.
Out of nowhere.
Huh.
It's almost like pigeons.
Well, you say we'll talk about it later. No, we won't. This is the
That's
Yankees,
your 2-minute drill.
Yeah, the Yankees part just ended. So
They're like he's like a pigeon because pigeons are from the
Yeah,
government.
no,
yeah.
they definitely are.
So are you telling us, or are we moving on?
No, that's all I had to say.
He's just government built. I could see it.
He's actually
And
Terminator.
he has too much of a perfect face. We'll move on now.
Yeah, like they tried. They like didn't do good enough. Make him look normal.
It's like a square.
He's like
Yeah.
literally, if you created a My Player, that's who I would create for
No, that's Jason
the show.
Richardson. Is it Jason?
What?
Wait, Richard Jefferson. Richard Jefferson is the My Player.
Okay.
All right, cool. Thanks for the theory. Guardians Tigers is the last series in the MLB playoffs. That series is tied 2-2, and I think they play tonight as well, or today. Did they play already? Hold on. I got to check the ESPN app because I can't provide my commentary.
They
is
play
it?
tomorrow at 1:08.
They play tomorrow?
Yeah.
Oh.
Game 5, 1:00 p.m. That's crazy. It's weird.
Main thing
Eagles
from
aren't even
there
time change.
is that both teams are kind of fun and hot. Take that as you will. Very likable teams. Skubal is elite. I don't know if any of you have gotten a chance to watch him pitch, but he's a lefty. He sits like 95 to 97, but sneaky gets it up to 99 when it's 0-2. He's going to win the Cy Young in the AL for sure. And then Steven Kwan is batting 500 this playoffs, maybe higher. Like I think like 520. He was leading the league in batting average for most of the year at like 350 all year. Didn't end up winning the title. He kind of slumped at the end, but he is cooking it up in this playoffs. So those are the two highlights of the series. Jose Ramirez obviously plays for the Guardians and is great. Almost had a 40-40 season. So there's only one game left. I don't think Skubal is starting this game. So I think I'd push my chips towards the Guardians. If Skubal was starting for the Tigers,
It's in Cleveland too.
yeah, I think I would. I mean, I took the Tigers in 5 in this series last week. I'm happy to root for the Tigers. I still want them to win. I saw a really funny meme. It said, like, there's no harder place to play than Detroit in the afternoon because it's the highest unemployment rate in America.
Jesus.
So, people show up to the 1 p.m. game.
How electric was that Detroit team with Verlander on it though? Sorry, I just keep
with
thinking.
Ordonez?
Yeah, I think about it all the
and
time.
Cabrera. Was Cabrera on that? Yeah. it had to
Miggy?
be.
Yeah.
And Polanco.
That team was gross.
It's such a weird amount of Scherzer, maybe. I think Scherzer was on that.
Really? Just make that up? We don't fact check out here, so.
We don't fact check on this show, baby. Yeah, Scherzer was on that team. Hell yeah. David Price.
Oh, yeah. Good show.
I think young David Price was on that squad.
Chris Sale, Barry Bonds.
Shut the hell up. I think Babe Ruth.
Yeah. Damn right.
Anyway, last thing baseball wise, the bye situation. Let me look this up. I don't want to screw this up.
I feel like we're gonna have different opinions on this, and I love it.
Yeah, Jessica, I actually want your thoughts on this too, and Hannah. What do we think about the bye? Now, teams that I think the first and second seeds each get a bye. Let me read this off to you. Since the new rule, teams with byes in the new format in the NL, so since 2022, have 0 series wins.
Only NL.
In the NL. Have 0 series wins. So they've literally haven't won a series. The 6th seed has made the World Series each year. So being the wild card seems to be advantageous. And their overall record game to game is 5-16. So it is obviously you get to pitch your ace in the first game.
Mm-hmm.
They look like they just saw.
They're the kids in grade school that the teacher catches them talking in class.
They're like, oh.
Yeah.
What the heck's going
Where
on?
are you going with this?
Anyway, so the team getting a 1 or 2 seed gets you a bye, but do you get iced out as a team in baseball because they do play 162 games in 200 days, and then they take 3 or 4 days off because it used to be a 1-game wild card, winner moves on, but now it's 3. So the team that is waiting for that game to be completed gets a 4 or 5 day break. So they have to simulate fake games. And anyway, the performance has been bad. None of the 1 or 2 seeds in the NL since this has become a new rule have won the series.
Mm-hmm.
And they're 5-16 overall. So Mike, I guess what's your take on that? And then we'll see what the girls think.
Why do you watch March Madness? That's
for the underdog. But I feel like baseball's enough of that already, sport.
We just got done saying how it wouldn't be fun watching a World Series with any other AL team in the World Series. We want to watch the Yankees, who are the 1 seed.
No, it would be the most entertaining. However,
I also think
baseball is the most fair sport as far as the number 1 seed in baseball has an average win rate of 65%. In football, it's 82%. Basketball, it's 75%. I think it's the closest. It's already the closest.
I think it adds excitement. I think I'll be the nerd accountant kind of guy. I think being the NL only is kind of corny. If it was an issue, it would appear across to the AL as well.
Yeah, they wouldn't have to squeeze that little sample size. That's because the Astros always win anyway.
But that's my point. Good teams find a way to win, whether you're
honestly the reason that's what's funny. That's crazy. I'm just realizing. The reason that statistic is relevant is because of the Phillies alone.
Because we won the last 2 wild cards.
We won the wild card. No, then we played well and we lost last year. And
that's what I'm saying. Those last 2 years.
We lost and didn't make it this year. But the first year, we're the team as the wild card that made it the first time. That's funny. Yeah. So,
comes full circle, some would say.
I think best of 3 is fine. I think that's where you were going to. It comes with more excitement. It's only a 3-game series. It's not like they made it a 5-game series. But it used to be 1. 1 is weird. 1 is tough to decide in baseball.
The only thing I would say, I guess these are best of 5 actually. Never mind.
No, it's 3, then 5, then 7.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
That's why I stopped what I was about to say.
All right. What do you think, Jessica? Do you like the bye week? Do you not? Is baseball different than other sports?
I don't necessarily think it's different than other sports, but we're talking about baseball. So for the playoffs right now, I really, really believe it has to do with what team has momentum coming out of that regular season. And I think you can look back to, you can do a lot. If I have a lot of history on the Phillies, so I know that the team that won the World Series was not the better team of the 2 years we went, as an example. It doesn't matter, I guess my point is how good that team is. Because if that was the case, we could write on paper and put bets in and win a lot of money.
So does that stop the heat, though?
I think people also know baseball's a
streaky sport.
Oh, but it's
streaky sport.
It's all about getting hot at the right time for baseball.
Correct.
That's what I mean. So exactly. So that's the basis of what I'm trying to ask. Does getting the 1 or 2 seed
No.
and then taking 5 days off
No.
steal the Heat?
I guess to keep the conversation, I would say yes. The Mets did not take a game
Correct.
off. They beat the Phillies. I don't actually think they're
We
the
were
better
cold
team.
going
The
into the
Phillies
year.
already sucked.
But we
yeah.
had the bye, right?
Yeah,
for
we
our
also
case
lost
study.
more than half our games at the end of the year.
Yeah.
Like,
Exactly,
that's,
too. Like we
but that's my
weren't
point.
even-
Is like it's hard to say. It's hard to say yes because of the Phillies, because the Phillies were bad going into playoffs.
And it's kind of the same story last year. I don't know.
I think the only benefit is for the pitchers for resting.
And the management. Like the pitchers, I totally agree. The only advantage is that you get to start Zach Wheeler game 1. And the Mets couldn't because they had to make sure they won the series before and had to start their ace. Other than that, it's for the hitters, it's 100% more
So it's
advantageous.
offense. So we're getting down to the nitty gritty.
It would be more
So
offense,
it's
yeah.
offense.
Devil's advocate, just for fun here, though,
Mhm.
too. Isn't it interesting how the Mets got to pitch their ace again, though, in a more crucial moment?
Yeah, I was thinking the
Actually
same
be-
exact thing. If you get to game 5, that actually flips back to the team that didn't get the bye. Because that team, the way it rotates, that team's ace ends up pitching.
But if you
against the
need
other
game
team's
3, the ace gets
Correct.
That's
So
the thing. If you're
why-
tied,
Won the first two.
if you're tied 1-1,
Yeah,
you get your ace.
Correct.
If you get a bye.
yes. No.
Zach Wheeler would not have pitched in game 3.
No, but he
Would have pitched game 4. That's what I'm saying. So
would have pitched game 5.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. The Mets pitcher,
The ace got to pitch game 3.
he could, yeah,
and that was the bigger game.
Yes.
Because then it was 2-1.
Yes.
They needed one more at home.
and had momentum because it's 2 in a row.
Yeah, and they won the Zach Wheeler game, which boned the Phillies. How are we still talking about the Phillies Mets? God. I'm just I don't want to do it. I want to move on to the Eagles, but they suck worse.
I don't wanna
Yeah, it
talk
wasn't
about
2 in a row.
Eagles.
Whoops.
I have a question. I've heard a lot of talks on this. Now, maybe people who are casual fans versus us, which I consider us like weird fans, like we look at things differently. But from the casual viewer, I heard a few times now, we should have put Wheeler in.
No.
And
I don't
that
think
is
he
it-
could. Like, I don't.
But it's, the point of that, if you followed up, as I listened, was, yeah, but it's the last game ever of the season.
Yeah, so his arm
Yeah, but
falls
then
off.
who pitches game? Like,
Someone else.
yeah.
But your
Well,
goal,
games-
your
game
goal
5
isn't the
is
next
then-
game. Your goal is what are we doing right now to
Yeah,
win
but
this
Ranger
game.
pitched great.
He did pitch great, and to note,
Oh, I thought you
he
meant
had
out of the
bases
bullpen.
loaded.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, no.
Bases loaded both first
not
and
out of the
second
bullpen
inning. He
either.
got out. A good boy, Ranger.
No, I don't agree. I mean, I get it somewhat, but if you think about it for like more than 4 seconds, no.
Well, because then it's like, what in game 4 you're going to it's to throw Nola too? And it's like it's just not going to happen. Like, it's impossible.
Yeah, just
Because that's the same theory. You know what I'm saying? Like, you pitching Wheeler in game 3 is the same thing. Or, sorry, because Nola pitched game 3.
yeah, well, but also just like,
It has me so
How do
upset
you
I keep mixing
finish
up
that
details.
game?
Jesus.
how do you finish that game or finish watching that game? And then that's your perspective. Like, the starting pitcher did fine. And our bullpen, dude, I keep
I
saying
can't believe
this.
we're back to the Phillies.
Yeah, Strum. I think Strum had a 1.87 this year. Hoffman had a 2.17, or maybe that's reversed. I forget. Like, people are at Kierling, I always forget how to say his name. It's so weird. His first name's weird too.
Orion.
Ryan.
O'Reilly?
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
what made me think of.
Auto parts. He was great all year too. So like this whole like, oh, we should have had bullpen. Our bullpen sucks. Like, no, it didn't. Like, what do you want them to do? Like the coach. That's the one thing that I'll defend the coach on. Like, oh, they should have kept Wheeler in. Brother, he pitched 7 shutout innings, 111 pitches. The thought in their head is we have 4 shutdown relievers, arguably 5. We only need to get through 2 innings. We're going to throw Strom and Hoffman out there, who have a sub-2 and a slightly above 2 ERA all year. And they're going to shut it down. And they didn't. Like,
Yeah.
they did not. But that wasn't like, some people are calling in going, oh, they should have left Wheeler in. Take him to 150 if he has to. Like, what are you talking about?
These are also people that just,
I've never played.
yeah, they couldn't have.
Yeah.
Like, not to be, like, I mean, don't get me wrong. I played baseball for a travel team. Like, it wasn't anything even a fraction of that.
No, you were good.
It doesn't matter. It's that's what I'm just saying. It's
Better
not
than Trey Turner.
It's not a fracture of this. It's not a fraction of the level that they play at. But literally, I would throw, like, I played center field. If I threw 2 guys out at home, or I tried to, get the guy tagging up to third, right? And I just threw that 5 times. I was like, dude, Jesus Christ! I'm really stepping into this one. Imagine throwing 111 pitches and people being like, "You should have pitched. You should throw a 150." It's like his arm, it would drag.
But even if, because that's like you got to think about the next game somewhat. Like obviously you got to win this one, but also it's like, do I want him to go pitch 112 to 125 here in this
potentially need Tommy John and not pitch next year?
Or do I want this guy to come in who gives up a run every 4 times he gets on the mound to come in and shut
people
the door?
Are idiots, dude.
It's like
they're the same people that yell shoot every time the Flyers have the puck.
The puck past the blue line.
Yeah. People that just don't know what they're talking about.
It's like, no, I
love offsides when it's past the halfway line, not even the blue line.
Like I love Wheeler as much as the next guy, but
how about this? You just also don't win playoff games when your bullpen is above 11 ERA.
Yeah,
it's not a matter of leaving Zach
and your
Wheeler.
team's not hitting.
I don't think Thompson made every great decision there, and if they fired him, I wouldn't be all that bummed. But I just the bullpen was great all year. To put them in the most logical moment is fine. It makes sense.
Can I note something from an educational standpoint since we're talking about the casual fan?
Yeah.
And I think that we all fall into this, but it is, I think, important from our baseball expert, Luke.
Oh,
this pitching zone. Can you please explain why it's important when a ball's thrown in the dirt and that's not purposeful?
Yeah. So, I mean, I hope the people, people
I'm
won't.
telling you, if you look at a ball thrown in the dirt, you go, oh my God, throw strikes.
Yeah. So there's some people that I'll watch with who our pitcher throws a ball in the dirt, throws a ball way up, way out, and they're like, oh gosh, throw a strike. Or the hitter swings at a ball in the dirt, and they're like, how could you ever swing at that? I think most of the people understand. But ironically, the Phillies probably threw too many strikes and should have thrown more balls in the dirt. We had 0-2 counts. Actually, that Pete Alonso opposite field home run was 0-2. Why? Because Christopher Sanchez decided, I'm going to try to sneak one in, just paint the black of the left side of the plate, and throw a perfect pitch. And Pete swung at it and hit it over the fence. When it's 0-2, you have balls to waste. So throw your nastiest stuff. If it's in the dirt, it's in the dirt. Then it's 1-2. Honestly, throw another one. Or throw a fastball up at his chin. Because then it's 2-2, and he just saw one in the dirt and then one way up high. And his eyesight, it changes pitch to pitch. Then you can kind of throw whatever you want.
And you're just more antsy, genuinely.
Correct. You have no clue what's coming. So part of the Phillies problem, and sorry to always be talking about the Phillies, but the Phillies-Mets series is what I watch the most, that we were just throwing strikes. We weren't painting the black and then throwing balls in the dirt and then running fastballs up. We just threw strikes. And so just know that when people throw balls in the dirt or when they throw it way inside, it's often on purpose. And a lot of times they will be ahead of the count, meaning it'll be 0-2, 1-2. They're trying to waste a pitch. So, in my opinion, ironically, the Phillies didn't do that enough. And if a batter's swinging at a ball in the dirt, probably 0-2 also, and they're trying to, it's a nasty pitch. Anyway, don't yell at your TV as much as you do.
From the Olympian.
Okay, whatever. Anyway, anybody got anything else for the playoffs? She's trying to get another contract to come back. She's on a 1-weeker right now.
Love you, Pam.
I actually get an extra week every time you say "I love you, Pam."
Yeah.
Anything on the playoffs of the baseball?
Yeah,
I don't know
the
why I said
playoffs
it like
of the
that.
baseball. If not, we can move on.
Nah, I'm good. I'm past baseball.
All right.
Yeah, we can move on.
In that case, we are moving on to the NFL Week 6. We'll recap a little bit of Week 5 because I guess technically this first note didn't happen in Week 6, but definitely something I want to get off the books right away, and that is that Robert, right? Not Mo.
Yeah. No, you're right.
Not Mo. Robert Saleh.
You're right.
Fired as the Jets head coach. And the OC, Nathaniel Hackett, was demoted. I don't know. The further away we get from this news, Mike, the more I don't like it. I wasn't a Robert Saleh fan necessarily, but he is definitely defensive minded, and that is not why the Jets are losing.
You don't think? You don't say.
It's definitely the offensive struggles. And so Nathaniel Hackett did get demoted, which is like, okay, you got what you were looking for. You got the guy, but you also fired the guy who they've let up 1 touchdown in the past 3 games, I think. So, I didn't love Robert Saleh, but I think that was just like he looked like a guy who I wouldn't be friends with, but not necessarily. I don't know about his coaching that much.
I just think he's a hardo.
Yeah.
I think that's why he's a defensive guy. I mean,
I don't know. Why do they fire him?
Ray Lewis says it too. He says you got to be a little crazy. You got to be a little psycho if you want to play on the defensive side of the ball. And I think that's just literally Robert Saleh. I think he's a maniac. I think he's the guy that headbutts his players without wearing a helmet.
Nice.
Which is like awesome. Like it gets your defense amped. Like it's awesome. But that's also why the Jets defense has been so good. I think it's also partially why.
So why not just fire Nathaniel Hackett and get a new OC?
Because I think it's also partially why the
Rodgers.
No, I actually think people that say that are absurd. A quarterback doesn't have that much pull. It doesn't matter. Patrick Mahomes might be the only guy in Tom Brady. Aaron Rodgers
is as big as both of
yeah,
those
but he doesn't
guys.
have that much pull. He's been there for a year where he's been injured, and he's last year was contract. I think they just wouldn't do that. That's why they're not. That's why they haven't instantaneously traded for Devontae Adams because they're like, we can get to that later.
Also,
but it's like. Rodgers is on 1 year of his contract, so it's like whatever.
So you think they wanted to fire Saleh?
I think he's a defensive coordinator. I actually think it would have been cool if they were like, go
be the DC.
Yeah, maybe we'll fire the defense coordinator to get someone else in here. You
scoop you right back.
Yeah, you just go be our defensive guy. Also, it's kind of funny to me. Who would have thunk it? The guy on the Broncos that goes 2-16 last year that you bring in as an offensive coordinator gets fired. Who would have thunk it?
What is up with that?
2-16 last year.
But the Broncos were juiced up about getting him too, and I think the team before them. And it's like he just keeps. He has
a good reputation with Rodgers. I'm pretty sure in Green Bay. Obviously, I guess
he was horrible. Like that was an embarrassing offense.
It's almost like.
Historically bad.
That
offense.
Denver year, realistically, should wipe out anything he's done with Rodgers.
Yes, that's how bad it was.
Yeah.
This is his last. He should never get hired.
But how funny is that? A 2-16 guy.
Yeah.
You're like, hey.
But he knows Rodgers, so we'll bring him.
Come on.
And then he sucks.
Yeah. And they're like, hey, Rodgers, just save his career because Rodgers is that great.
So anyway, I bring up the firing because it is mid-year, which happens like in soccer, but not in football usually. And
that was the most surprising thing. I don't think it's surprising he got fired. I just think they're done. They're like I said, Rodgers only has 1 year left, and they want to win now, and they want to go. I do have an interesting actually fact about the new OC, Todd Downey. Right?
Yeah,
Todd Downing. So he coached at the Titans in 2021, 2022, right? Both those years, he was. I forget exactly what it was. I actually read it earlier. It's top 3 or top 5 rushing both years. One of those years, even Derrick Henry got hurt. So like it's not like he had like
just Derrick Henry, and that's why he was
exactly. Yeah. So like I think this is phenomenal for Breece Hall and Braylon Allen, and I think they're both going to get all the work. I think they're both going to get targets again.
All of them.
Dewey.
All the work.
Dewey for both Breece Hall and Braylon Allen.
Oh, yeah, Braylon. Forgot about that bloke.
I think they're both going to get so much work. But the only thing that's interesting is like a Nathaniel Hackett system is, hey, let's put our stars out wide and get them in one-on-ones and have no play and let them try to do.
And hopefully Rodgers knows where they're going to run.
Yeah, and that's why they were so much off page. So I think it's interesting. Like now you're going to go to a really heavy run offense.
Well, I hope Breece does well because I have him in Dynasty and I don't have Rodgers. So I hope he throws 0 touchdowns and Breece runs all of them in. And Jarrett rejected my trade for Garrett Wilson.
They average like 1.4 yards a carry over the last 2 or 3 games. It's insane. It's actually embarrassing.
Yeah. Anyway, the Jets were supposed to be fun and cool and win a lot. And they just fired their coach. So that was the first thing on the NFL. I think they're 2-3.
Jessica?
Can you look that up, Jamie?
Yeah, what?
The Jets record. I have to pee so bad. Should I go?
We can take a break. Jets record is 2 wins, 3 losses.
2 wins, 3 losses. All right, Luke has to go take a little whiz, but we're going to come back with Are They Legit? All right, are they legit? We are going through the NFL. We're going to talk about 5-0 teams or 4-1 teams. Ladies, get ready. I want your perspective too. So you are on the clock. First, though, Mike, we're talking Chiefs. We talked about them a little bit before. They are a pest. They have a great coach, great quarterback, Hall of Fame tight end who's been questionable this year. Young receivers, a dog of a running back who is injured, but they're kind of just squeaking out games. People joke about the referees being on their side, and like every time they need a call, they get one. So I guess I'll just put the ball in your court. Are the Chiefs legit?
I mean, they kind of have to be, right? Like, I get the whole wide receiver issue. I get Rashee Rice just went on the IR. I get all that, but they are the two-time repeated going for a third Super Bowl Chiefs. Like, they've shown they can do it. They've shown they can win. It's the same coach. It's the same QB. It's the same tight end.
I think Mahomes has 3, doesn't he?
Yeah, but it's 2 in a row.
2 in a row? No, it's not.
Pretty sure, wasn't it?
I think it's like off and on every year.
I thought he won 2 in a row.
I think it's 3 out of the past 5 or something. Jessica, can you look that up?
What?
Can you hit me with the past 6 Super Bowl winners?
Mm-hmm.
Am I just making it up? Is it the repeat?
Hit me with the past 6. Come on.
2020 and 2024. What's the middle one?
All right, I'll do it.
Am I cooked?
No, past 6 what?
Past 6 Super Bowl winners.
Yeah. Can you try and tell me them as a fun trivia while I do this?
Jesus.
All right,
Yeah. Okay.
That's a grind.
All right. Don't look it up. Stop looking it up, Mike. Who won last year? The Chiefs did.
Yeah.
Yes. They also won definitely within the last 2.
Who won
Correct.
the year before
So the
that?
Chiefs also won, and then we know the Chiefs also won in 2020. So the Chiefs are 3 of the last 6 at least.
Ding, ding, ding.
That is not ding, ding, ding.
All right, so
But
we
that's
have
half,
the
that's
Chiefs.
half.
The Rams won recently.
Chiefs, I'm going backwards.
Bengals.
No.
They beat.
Rams, Buccaneers,
Wait,
Chiefs.
so we're not doing it.
Patriots. Oh, go.
Oh,
Chief, Rams,
You missed
Buccaneers.
all of them.
Well, here's the thing.
So
I
the
was-
Chiefs have 3, correct? That's all I want to know.
Oh, the
Mahomes.
Bengals
Great.
lost to fucking.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
the past 2.
The Bengals lost to the Rams.
Lock in.
Yeah, in
and
the
the
last
Chiefs
6
in
years,
the-
yes.
So they have 3. So Mahomes has 3. Tyreek has 2. Maybe that's why you thought that. Because they won without Tyreek. Anyway, I agree. I think they have to be legit. I mean, they kind of look ugly, but like this is the worst they're gonna look, I think. I mean, they have the best coach in football, the best quarterback in football, best tight end in football, I guess.
Nah, he's great.
And good enough wide receivers. He's done it without Tyreek before.
Yo, I was right, by the way.
What? They have 2?
They won back to back.
Yeah. Jessica said that. You were right.
I thought you said opposite. I was so locked in on that. My bad.
Yeah, when Chiefs, Rams, Bucks, Chiefs. Past 5. Anyway, yeah. Ladies, you're up. Chiefs legit or not?
I would say the Chiefs are legit because I consider when you look at a team, I look at the head coach for football first. I don't know why. And I think Andy Reid is a really great
What's his
coach.
nickname?
Big Red.
Let's go. That's why I married you.
So I think Andy Reid's a really great coach, and I think they're being led by Patrick Mahomes, who is a good leader. I don't know what's happening with Travis Kelce. You noted that. I'm genuinely, I don't know what's happening. Are they icing him out? I don't know.
No, that's what, like, let me look this up really quick. But this guy's getting, I get the first few games, but, like.
You think he's been decent?
No, I'm just saying, I think it's once again just Andy Reid being an unreal coach. They did it last year. We're like, midway.
He'll pop up and be.
Well, no, midway through the year, they're like, hey, let's not play him as much. Let's not get him in as many plays.
Let's pretend he's not that good.
We need him for playoffs. Like that is such a winner's mentality. It's actually insane.
Let's go 5-0 and give Travis 5 games off to start the season.
Let's make the toll on his body beyond minimal. Like, look at this. The last 2 games where Rashee Rice gets hurt and isn't playing because he literally got hurt week 4. Right?
I know, yeah.
He did have 9 for 7.
Yeah, he got hurt week 4. You ready? Week 4, 9 targets, 7 receptions, 89 yards. Last week, 10 targets, 9 receptions,
70
yards. Excuse me.
Your
I was looking at the yards per catch. He literally averages over 10 yards per catch right now.
So he's still doing fine. He's just not the Travis Kelce we're used to, and there's totally potential for him to be that. He just needs some touchdowns, and he'd be, fantasy-wise, would be great. All right, Chiefs are legit. Next team, Vikings, also 5-0. I'll take this one since you let off last time, Mike. Are the Vikings legit? I'm going to say no. I don't think they are. I think Sam Darnold is a professional quarterback. I think he is an honorable football player. 5-0 legit? I'm not sure. They have the Packers and the Vikings. They are the Vikings. They have the Packers, the Bears. Why am I blanking on? And the Lions in their conference. The Packers and the Lions in particular, I think could end up at the top of that table, even though the Vikings are in first right now, obviously, at 5-0. The Bears could be sneaky good too, although I do think the Vikings are going to end up in front of them. I'm not saying the Vikings will end up in third. I'm just saying they have two very, very good teams in their division. They're 5-0. Are they legitimately that great of a team? I'm going to say no. Aaron Jones, either at the tail of his prime or out of his prime.
He looks so good, though.
He does. It's
he
weird.
Looks
I just
so
don't.
Good.
Is he going to keep that up? I'm not sure.
Well, he's hurt. He's hurt now.
And Jefferson, obviously, he's great. Addison, great too. But I don't know. I guess I'm keeping them to a high scale. Are they legit a 5-0 team? I'm saying no. That's kind of a scapegoat. But are they a legit playoff contender? I guess that's what we have to say. And that's what I'm going on the line on, and I'll say no.
I think it'll be interesting to see. I know they have a bye week this week, but their next opponent is the Lions, so that'll be an interesting matchup to see.
Yeah, that'll tell a lot of the story, in my opinion.
I would like to build up what Hannah just said. I was going to say, I just pulled them up. Like, we could do the next 5 games, I guess, because that'll tell you if they're a playoff contention team. I will say, I don't know if you're saying no, they're not legit because they're not a playoff contender, and by playoff contender, do you mean like going to compete in the playoffs, or like do you mean like get in the Super Bowl?
I want to say legit means you're
in
contention to make the Super Bowl.
Oh, okay. See, I don't think they make the Super Bowl. I don't think that's like.
I'm not saying you have to pick one team who's going to make it.
I know. Okay. I'm saying
they're not a top.
Yeah, the Vikings will get in the playoffs. They'll have a great game. If it's like, not, they might win one, maybe. Like, my point is, like, they're gonna compete in the playoffs. Like, they're not gonna make a Super Bowl
for a game.
Yeah, but they'll be like, "Hey, I'm here."
They might get.
I'm here, and I'm here to party. Like, that's what they'll be like. But it's
So, like, the Chiefs could make the Super Bowl.
Yes,
right.
That's why they're legit.
So Vikings are 5-0, but I'm not legitimately scared of them as a Super Bowl contender.
Yeah, so I would say also not legit.
Okay, ladies.
Shout out Sam Darnold, though.
Yeah, shout out Sam Darnold for real. Sorry that this is my answer.
I see you go sometimes.
I think I'm going to say they are legit.
Whoa.
Big shout.
Jesse Betts.
She wants that guy to win Rookie of the Year. That's what she wants.
She's just trying to clickbait.
We're not going to go into the parlays.
Yeah, for real. Defensive guy. Yeah, he's our Rookie of the Year.
No, I think that there's something, like, no one had their eyes on them. And
well, the McCarthy injury took them off the.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that.
I think even with McCarthy,
if they're 5-0, I guess I'm saying I think it's for a reason right now. Looking at, like, I know our quarterback's doing well.
You have all that.
Yeah, I mean some not so good games, and definitely some good games. So
Browns, Giants. Is that what I'm seeing?
Giants.
I think they have tougher opponents coming
49ers, week 2.
Wow.
Did they have CMC week 2?
I don't think so, but still, they just blew out somebody decent yesterday. Seahawks.
Beat the Texans 34-7.
Wow.
Beat the Packers 31-29, and then just beat the Jets. But that's also an interesting game, that last one, because it's in London. It's early. Like,
so
it's definitely a sketchy game for like great teams, because you're like, you can make the excuse. No one's great.
Right, I mean, we already said no, and Jessica said yes. Hannah, what do you got?
I think no.
You think they're not legit?
Give your reasons, Hannah.
I did. I just don't think that they can compete with, like,
the Lions next week or 2 weeks from now.
Yeah,
they get smacked around by the Lions.
All right, fair enough. We got 3 no legits and a yes legit. And then for the Chiefs, I think we had 4 legits. So, all right, next up is the Commanders. I think they're 4-1. I don't think they're 5-0, but that's still good enough to be on this list. Are they legit?
Who?
The Commanders, Washington Commanders. Mike, I'm going to leave it to you on this one, unless you want me to start.
Yeah, you burned me.
All right.
That's what you did.
All right.
Burned me.
I'll go for it then. I'm going to say the Commanders.
It's such a middle ground, man, because I love Jaden Daniels. Like, I want to say legit so bad, but like the whole Super Bowl contender thing just keeps deterring me from saying yes.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Because, like, I just don't think they win a Super Bowl. Like, I don't even think they get to the Super Bowl. But I think they compete in the playoffs. Sorry.
Yeah, I think that's great.
Jaden Daniels just gasses me up. My bad.
Yeah, no, I mean, remember when I said I'll lead it off and then you just did it anyway?
Well, you put me on the... I said you put me on the bender, and then I was going to...
I love what you said, though. I think because of the way I analyzed the Vikings that I have to say no to this as well. But I love the Commanders. I love Jaden Daniels. I love Brian Robinson.
How do you not root for Austin Eckler?
Yeah, even though he's not really a part. I mean,
but he's a good guy. He had a concussion.
He had a
last
great
week.
game last week, actually.
Yeah, too, because that was his game back.
Oh, I didn't even realize that that's why he wasn't.
That's how minimal carries gets. But
so no, but anyway, yeah, like the Commanders in the same vein. Like I think they'll actually make the playoffs. I think the Cowboys will underperform, and probably the Eagles and Commanders will advance out of this division. Maybe I'm doing some hometown hoops, but I believe in the Eagles.
Nah, not having Micah kind of a shot in the foot.
Yeah, for sure. But I don't know. That offense isn't as strong as it was supposed to be. Anyway, the Commanders. I just don't think in the same vein as the Vikings that they're going to. I mean, Jaden Daniels looks great. Like,
so
he's
good,
so
dude.
good. But it's just weird to like believe in a rookie enough to say that he's going to get to the Super Bowl.
Dude, that was the Vikings, but like they blew someone out too, didn't they?
Oh yeah.
Like was it the Bengals? They blew someone out who they shouldn't have.
I think they're just scoring a lot.
I don't know. The Bengals was a shootout, 38-33.
Right?
Yeah, they beat the Cardinals 42-14.
Yeah. The Cardinals are okay this year.
Browns, it's a top offense, but that defense is the worst defense in football.
Yeah.
I mean, the Browns stink too, but 34-13.
Well, Eagles are playing them this week, so we'll see if the Eagles stink.
Yeah, I know.
Anyway, I'm going to unfortunately have to say no, they're not legit, but only because the legit bar is very high.
Yeah. If you bring that down a notch.
If I'm saying playoff team legit, yes.
If you tell me competing...
They could make an NFC championship game.
Yes, I was going to say competing for the Super Bowl and losing. Like, just right there. Like, right at it.
Yeah. Okay, fine.
That's...
They're higher than the Vikings in my book.
Yes. Defense is way better, too.
Dude, the Vikings D's kind of...
No, they let up a bunch of points to other teams, didn't they? I mean, there's 2 games shutout. I guess it's only 5 weeks in, so it's 3 games low scoring for the opposite team, and then 2 weeks high.
Yeah. Anyway, whatever. We don't have to go back to the Vikings, but I have the Commanders slightly higher. If you're doing not even
Dude,
Super
their
Bowl,
schedule is so much easier too. Sorry.
Yeah. No, I said my piece. You said yours. Off to you, ladies. Are the Commanders legit? That's probably a tough one for you guys to
we really put our heads together on this one.
And we're saying no.
Correct. We are saying no.
It doesn't have to be a we thing, Jesse. Don't let her bully you into
thing.
this.
It's
Hannah, don't get on here thinking you can bully
thing.
my wife.
Anyway.
We bully you.
Oh, okay. Anyway, it's a we. It's a we no.
I think that the Commanders, I would feel a lot more comfortable. I think the team's still finding their rhythm, and I would like to take this question in next year.
That's a better answer than you know.
That's actually, I was going to say that was good.
Yeah.
But so I guess just
if I was on Family Feud, I'd say good answer.
Yeah,
good answer.
that would actually be the top one.
Yeah,
I
you should
actually
have
have a statistic for you. They were ranked the 24th easiest schedules.
That happens.
Season.
That happened to the Eagles.
That's what I was just saying too. How
Yeah.
much easier their schedule is coming up. They play the Panthers next week. They got the Ravens in there.
No, right?
Or it's Ravens this week,
now,
Panthers next week, Bears.
Because I have Jaden Daniels and Lamar. I'm trying
Bears,
to ship
Giants,
one
Steelers.
of them.
Dude, they go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They go 4-1 over their next 5 games. And then they play us.
They might. They're home against the Bears.
I don't know.
I think the bottom team's home.
Then no, they're at.
No, they're bottom.
You said the bottom team's home.
Yeah, So they're home against the Bears.
I thought you said away.
You just spoke the word home.
I said they're home, yeah.
Right. Oh, you thought I said away?
Yes.
Gotcha. All right. So Commanders aren't legit.
That sucks.
Last team on the list, also 4-1. The last 4-1 team. I think I got 2 5-0s and 2 4-1s, but if I miss someone, whatever. The Texans, the Houston Texans. And I'm going to throw the pod for a loop. And ladies, you are leading off this time.
The Texans.
So walk us through the Texan season and let us know.
I have literally zero clue. Hold
if
on.
they are legit. Hannah, you're a part of this too. And guess what? They're in the AFC South. Yeah. So your team's also in the AFC South. So you should know all about the Texans. Houston Texans.
4-1.
What do we think? Shoot from the hip if you have to.
Hey, I think that they make the playoffs, and I say they are legit.
Wow. Love it. Hannah, you're up.
I mean, they did have those high-profile trades like Stephon Diggs.
All right, ChatGPT. How about we just speak from the heart on this one?
I'm sorry, Hannah just started coming out with a full
paragraph typed.
It was like a ESPN
Hi,
analyst.
Google. Are the Texans in contention this year? All right, you have.
No,
yeah, okay.
What does ChatGPT
We got two.
say?
No,
Now
we
I
got
need to
2
know.
yeses. We got 2 yeses. You want it? Or I'm happy to. I love.
You got it.
Oh yeah, I love talking about the Texans.
Yeah, I have a good point actually on this. I think.
All right, so for me, the Texans are a big fat yes. I think the head coach is defensive minded, which is great, and the offense is high powered. Unfortunately, right now they have Nico Collins on IR and Joe Mixon has been injured, but I believe in CJ Stroud. I think Deshaun Watson left his powers in Houston, and CJ Stroud ate them up, and he drank the special juice. He's like the Monstars from Space Jam. CJ Stroud is legit, and I know, or at least I was, I think other people were kind of out on Stephon Diggs in fantasy. I mentioned this on the pod before. I think that's reasonable based on having 3 legitimate wide receivers. You don't know which one's going to be getting the targets. Happens to be Nico Collins this year, again, but he's on IR. That being said, in real football, you just want more players that are great, and Stephon Diggs is still really good. So as far as real football, Houston Texans are concerned, they now have 3 great wide receivers instead of 2. What's the hurt in that? Nothing. Schultz is a good tight end too. I mean, again, fantasy football is one
player
thing,
for sure,
but real player, like he's not a tight end.
He'll block for you.
He's not a tight end you're pissed off about.
He'll make the out cut for the catch. Like
my thing, I think Texans showed out last season to be legitimate. I think they made additions to show that they want to be a playoff team, and I think they're legit. Like, I think that out of the AFC, if they could contend for the Super Bowl, if they were in the AFC Championship, I wouldn't be surprised. And I think they would give whoever they meet there a good game. So I would say they're legit. Mike, you seem to want to disagree. And
that's why I kind of wanted you to go first. I just thought we did.
Yeah.
I thought that. I don't think they're legit. I don't think. Once again, it's so tough too because I don't think they're legit, but I think they compete just because of their schedule. And that's it. And it's like kind of what Hannah said earlier, how like some of these other teams do have an easier schedule, so it's easier for them to just make that push. Kind of what we said about the Commanders. But that's kind of where I fall as well, where they have an easy schedule. They'll win a lot of games. Like, they'll be a high-ranking seeded playoff team, but I just don't think they get to the Super Bowl. And like, if once again, since like that actual being legit bar is so high, I don't think they're there personally. I do want to give one shout out to Joe Mixon because that's one guy you didn't mention, and he was the number 1 rusher actually before he got hurt. No.
Oh, I meant to mention him on like he's hurt, but he's part of that.
But he's like a stud. He's coming back.
He's on my fantasy team.
He's supposed to come back. He's practicing right now, but he's not like officially.
He's practicing right now, but I'm not sure.
You definitely.
He's on one of my.
He's on one of my fantasy.
I don't believe you.
That I mentioned him.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
But yeah, so I don't. That's what I don't know.
I meant to mention him because he's hurt.
I just don't think they, like I said, if it's...
I love them.
Like I said, they're going to win a lot of games. They're fun to watch. Stroud is legit. I don't disagree with anything that you said at all. Like, I'm on the Nico train. I'll admit it. I wasn't, because even drafting, I passed on Nico.
That's probably more anti-Alex than anti-Nico. Because Arcangeli loves him.
I was thinking about it. I just didn't trust Nico. Like, he did it once, and I was just like, I was so convinced, and I guess I was biased because we have Tank Dell on a dynasty team. Like, I was so in on Tank Dell. So
I wanted Tank Dell to... Yeah, that's a good point.
But my point is, like, I agree with everything you said. Nico's great. Jim Mixon's great. All of it. I just don't think... I think once they get into playoffs, it's kind of like a burnout almost. Like, they're going to play...
When the big boys show up with Baltimore and Kansas City and
the teams kind of know how to play, like, just better organized, not commit...
Scouted you.
Yeah.
Like,
football.
Legitimately, yeah. I mean, whatever, fair enough. All right, we got 3 yeses, 2 shotgun yeses, 1 yes, and a no for the Texans. But I think that's fair enough. I don't think we should have a podcast that says yes to everybody. So, surprisingly, got a lot of no's on are they legit out of the 5-0 and 4-1 teams.
Somewhat breaking news, not really. I'm watching the Dodgers play, and Kike Hernandez just hit a home run.
Wow, Kike.
Second inning, 1-0 Dodgers.
Vamos, coño. Love that. Keep giving us updates. Next on the docket, and I don't know if you ended up reading the agenda or not, Hannah B, but this is for you.
Oh, God.
Let's go.
So, without any other context added by Mike or I, the only question here is, what should Indianapolis do at quarterback?
I knew this was going to come up.
The floor is yours.
Do you
Tell
mean
us
just-
why.
Wait, do you mean for the whole season or just this next game?
I mean the whole season, and tell us why I'm asking you, and tell
Okay.
us what your opinion is.
Hello, my name is Hannah Barger, and I have been a Colts fan my entire life. My dad has been a fan since they were
Intro
the
bio.
Baltimore Colts, and we've followed them all the way to Indianapolis. My brother's middle name is Peyton, after Peyton Manning. My dog's name is Dungy, and Lucas for Lucas Oil Stadium. Just wanted to give my statistics on the Colts before I jump into this. I will say...
We don't bring half-ass people on the podcast, okay? We bring legitimate people.
I
Let's
just
go.
want to say,
Sorry.
I think this upcoming week...
Edrin James.
Edrin James.
Let's go.
Love him.
Love him.
We need to play Flacco. Richardson was in an interview. I know he was practicing, and someone asked him how he was feeling, and his response was good, I guess. So that doesn't sound great to me. I think with Jonathan Taylor out this week, I think Michael Pittman's out this week.
Yeah, he is.
This
How about
week's a
Alec
wash.
Pierce? He was good.
Yeah. But, like, this week's a wash. Like, put Flacco in, give Richardson another week to rest, and then it's game on from there.
Okay, I have a little bit of a different take. I think there's people who feel even stronger about this, but since Richardson has been out, Flacco, at least in fantasy terms, but I think in QBR, is like quarterback 3, 4, 1, 9, 12. I think that's it. That's the 4 weeks. And he's been phenomenal. Some people think so good that just let Anthony Richardson watch behind him and learn how to be a great quarterback. But another part of me is like, didn't he do that last year? Who was playing for them last year? Wasn't he out all year?
Minshew.
Yeah. It was
Oh,
Gardner.
Minshew. So it's not like
Dog.
he is a dog, but is he somebody that like you want your rookie to like learn from? I don't know.
But I think that
Flacco
they're completely
is.
different quarterbacks.
But they are, but like the things that Richardson can't do, he learns from Flacco. And the things he can do, he's way better than Flacco ever will be. He doesn't need to learn from Flacco. So maybe not the whole year, but I guess my opinion would be don't rush him back, even give him an extra week or two, because why not? I don't think the team's in a position to compete for a Super Bowl. Like if they were randomly a 5-0 team, I think we would have voted them no. You'd have voted them yes. But I don't think there's any rush to get a 22-year-old quarterback back on the field. Pittman's young. Taylor's, I think he's 24 or 5, so relatively young.
Mhm.
They have Downs, who's young at receiver. They have the best
Alec Pierce, like you
Yeah.
mentioned.
Alec Pierce.
April
They have one of
player.
the youngest, Quentin Nelson. He's like the
Well, the
best
whole
and
offensive
youngest
line is
offensive
nuts.
line. Yeah, so I don't know. Just don't rush Richardson back. He was injured last year. He was badly concussed. I think he's concussed, right?
Yeah.
I just don't think there's a reason to rush him back.
His whole college career, I think he played 3 games.
Yeah, at Florida, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's just like he's raw talent. That throw from week 1 was insane. Some people are saying just play Flacco all year and let him learn, but I think I fall into the camp of let Richardson play, but don't rush him back. Even give an extra week or 2 if you have to. Although I have him on fantasy, so
I agree.
whatever.
Score some touchdowns.
Yeah, if he plays this week, that's fine. Mike,
I agree with the extra week. I would personally like try to be like, yeah, he's a little sore still, and like try to make it like an extra 2. Like I would stretch it out for as long as I could because I would want Flacco to play. You just can't. Like you're invested in him. You drafted him high. You committed to him last year.
Look at Love in Green Bay and Rodgers behind Favre.
Love never actually started though. He got drafted and he sat behind him. I'm saying it's
like forced to do it.
From such a point that we invested so much into you. Like we want you to be great. Oh, guess what? Now you're going to sit this entire year, even though you're healthy. Like it's just going to shatter him. He's donezo after that. Like, he's not coming back and being a.
Yeah, that's why I think you definitely have to end up playing him.
Yeah.
But don't Flacco's playing better than he was. I mean, he only played 1 game, but he's playing great. So just let him play. No, Richardson.
Oh, I thought you meant Flacco. Sorry.
Yeah, no, he's only played 4, so it's like
how often it's going to happen, kind of thing.
Well, and Richardson only played 1, so maybe he is great. We just don't really know.
Yeah, I just think from a career standpoint, I think it'll hurt him a lot. I think that you get less confidence, and he's already like not the best thrower of the ball. So if he needs anything, it's going to be, hey, I'm going to step into this and like let it rip, kind of thing.
Yeah, and he missed the first year.
Yeah, so I just think it just hurts him mentally almost.
Yeah. Okay, well, we got everyone's perspective on that. I thought that was a pretty interesting hot topic in the NFL. Next on the list, we will keep brief, I think, but just so that people know, yes, the Bengals are 1-4. However, Joe Burrow is a stud. Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase are back, in my opinion. They had 2 touchdown connections last week. Burrow threw for 5. He leads the league in touchdowns thrown and like yards per game and all the major statistics. They are 1-4 because I guess their defense absolutely sucks.
Horrific.
I'm actually not sure, but Joey B with the blonde hair is actually, in fact, cooking.
Eminem is cooking.
It's like he's hiding behind the losses, but he's still like 4th or 5th in MVP.
Yeah, it's insane.
In Vegas odds.
It is funny, though, because they had 5 touchdowns over the last 3 weeks. Like, it's not, like, it's
really
to your point of being
he
back.
threw 5 last game. Oh, you mean Jamar Chase and Burrow together?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Sorry.
Like, to the point of that duo being back. Mm-hmm. Like, they're like, that alone is just dangerous. Insane. Like, that connections, 5 touchdowns over 3 weeks is crazy.
Yeah. Anyway, I said that was going to be brief. I don't know if you have any more to say than what I added. I didn't mean to take all the air in the room.
I guess my only thing is just
no, you did add. You're right. Sorry.
It's funny that people thought he was a baby, and now it's like they're cooking again.
I think it's just like they're losing. Yeah, they got to find a way to win. They're losing, so people aren't realizing how good Slim Shady actually is. Okay. Next thing I have Skip, but it's just going to be brief again. I'm just going to say it. Devontae Adams hasn't found a team yet. He did not play last week.
Hammy hurts again this week.
That's what you said. Yeah, he's not going to play till he gets traded.
Nah, that Hammy's going to be a little sore. It's going to need to get some extra work, until he ends up on the Jets or something.
He's going to go full Deshaun Watson on us.
The only interesting part, I guess I'll say, because I know we said it would be brief, is that so he has $17 million of guaranteed money back on his contract.
The Raiders would pay that.
That's what they're trying to figure out now. Like, how much are they going to pay? Like, that's your point. Like,
they'll pay half at least.
People aren't jumping at it because they're like, I'm not giving them 20 guaranteed.
That's not the contract we're signing up to. Yeah. So anyway, we'll certainly cover when Devontae gets signed.
I had him on my fantasy team, and then I accidentally dropped him instead of benching him.
I'm about to send a trade to Abe right now.
That's the craziest thing I've. No,
I know.
Happens.
I don't want to talk about it.
Did you hear that?
No, I was so focused on sending a trade to Abe for him.
Hold on. Hannah, I'm sorry that this is recorded.
That's also on me, my bad.
No, this is totally on Mike, and I'm sorry that this is recorded and people now have to hear this twice, but you're going to have to repeat it.
You can edit it out.
Yeah, we'll edit out the first one.
I had him on my fantasy team, and instead of benching him, I dropped him from the team.
Oh, Mike's about to trade for him. I was just about to say.
Locked in on that. I was thinking, Abe's not here.
I thought she was about to say something, and I was going to say, "Don't worry. Like wherever he ends up, is going to be great. Like he's going to decide, kind of like I want to be.
Like if he goes to the Jets, he's going to average 20 points a game in fantasy football.
I think we got to pump those numbers up.
Yeah, he's going to be broken.
But you dropped him, so that's actually cooked. Why didn't you just text the commissioner and say that was an accident?
I didn't mean to drop him.
I was going to, but I felt bad because that already happened, and it was like this big thing because someone dropped a Cooper Kupp. And then everyone had to like not pick him up so she could take him back.
No, a commissioner can just put him right back. Rookie commissioner. Okay. That's why. All right, get us involved next time.
We reverse trades in ours.
All right, we're already way too long on the Devontae Adams saga. He hasn't found a team yet. We covered it last week. He's looking for a trade. All right. I'm not doing the next one either.
You don't have to. Yeah. Unless you want to do like 8 picks.
No. This one.
That's fine.
Because that can happen in any week.
Yeah.
All right. So, all right. Fun thing. I'm actually gonna have to open up some apps here.
Locking in.
What we're doing next, ladies. If you want to chime in, you can. But this is probably a Mike and I segment. What we want to do here is a fantasy football redraft. So everybody gets all excited for fantasy football draft week, but the awesome part is that you have no clue what people are going to do. Some people bust, like McCaffrey being injured all year, or Tua getting injured and Tyreek not being able to produce. And so
that's not on him.
The first round always it's not on him. Exactly. So what are you going to do? You drafted the right guy, but it is what it is. So what we want to do is a fantasy football redraft. Maybe we'll do one more the next time Mike's on in like week 11 or whatever, 13. But we're going into week 6. We thought it'd be fun. And so maybe let's just go through round 1 of a 10-man league.
You want to do 10?
We'll do top 10 picks. A redraft league, PPR, no super flex.
One flex,
yeah. But I'm saying no double quarterback.
Oh, wait, you don't even need to do a lineup, actually. Just first round?
No lineup, just first round.
Oh, you're just saying what the format is. I got you.
Yeah, so like you have pick 1 of the first round, Michael Kirby. Who are you taking in this year's draft?
It's funny because he was on the docket already, but I would take Jamar Chase, honestly, at 1, I think.
So you would take, if the draft happened today? I
would take Jamar Chase based on kind of just the connection being back, PPR. I mean, he's averaging, like I said, 5 touchdowns over the last 3 weeks. I think he's averaging like 5 targets, 5 receptions a game, and almost like 8 targets. Like, I'll take the volume with the touchdowns and 100 yards. I'm all for that. I think his last 3 games also, his minimum yardage was 85.
I'm not going to argue that at all. That's exactly what I would have said. Jamar Chase, like I said, Joey B looks great.
Lose as much as you want for fantasy football.
Maybe a weird first game, or am I making that up? Maybe like
no, it was a weird first 2 games.
Yeah, okay. But like Jamar is legit. Quarterback is
like I think under 10 points.
Maybe the best throwing quarterback in the league, which for a receiver is what you want. Maybe not the best fantasy quarterback, but yeah. Okay. So we agree on 101. 102. I guess that leaves it in my field, which is way harder.
It's cool that we're on the same page.
I wish I would have just taken 101.
It's such a layup, I think.
No, yeah, for sure. 102. I'm actually between 2, maybe 3 people, but I think 2, and I think I'm just gonna lock in the 1, and that's gonna have to be. I don't think you want to bump me for this.
I think I do.
No, you don't.
Maybe, yeah.
My 102 would still be Justin Jefferson.
And, I don't hate it.
And the person I'm flirting with is Saquon Barkley. And
that's where I was.
I would maybe have taken him, actually, because I'm always like a get your running backs in, because I think there's
especially
just more
when they
depth.
catch the ball.
There's just more depth at wide receiver in his fantasy football draft. But I think I just still go Jefferson just because Darnold's still a good thrower of the ball. Like I said, like not the fantasy quarterback you want, but the fantasy quarterback you want for the wide receiver that you have, maybe. Jefferson's still putting up numbers without Kirk, and he's an LSU receiver. That's how it goes. So I would still take him 102, I think. But if you took Saquon Barkley, I wouldn't argue at all. I don't want to completely spoil this, but just because of the way the season's going, Nico Collins is potentially somebody who you could have taken there.
Yeah, you can't because of the injury, like you said.
Yeah, if he wasn't injured.
I think we can agree that you can flop them 2 and 3, so like who cares? I guess like we're not going to sit here and say
Saquon and Jefferson.
Yeah, it's not like we're going to say 1 to 2.
So let's just skip to 4.
Well, all I was going to say is, if you heard it here first on Sideline Banter, not legit, but still great fantasy value.
What do you mean by that?
Vikings not legit.
Oh, sure.
Justin Jefferson,
Vikings.
great fantasy value.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that happens all the time. So let's go to 104 then. We kind of mentioned one person, but clock's back on you. Who would you take up the 104?
I'm between 2 guys. Me personally, I'm between
I think I'm between the same 2 guys.
I don't think so.
All right.
Maybe one of them.
Okay, go ahead.
I'm between Kyron Williams, which I feel like you're on that wave.
Not.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
I thought that was
He is a
lot.
touchdown machine. I'm just not.
That's
I
exactly
don't have
why.
him
And he's only going to get more value
I don't
now.
have stock anywhere. Nobody would dare trade him, so I haven't even been looking at it.
Ball endlessly, bunch of catches.
All right, who's your other guy?
Malik Neighbors.
Yeah.
So much volume. Holy moly.
So I was Nico and Malik. Didn't Malik get 18 touches? Or, sorry, not touches. 18 targets.
I think it was more than that. I think he
2.
got 18 touches.
No, I think he caught 10 of them.
Week 2, 18 targets, 10 receptions.
Yeah.
But even the week that he played last, 15 targets, 12 receptions.
Yeah. I'm going Malik over Kyron. And then I had Nico. So let's put Malik at 4.
I'm off the Nico train, dude. He's out 4 to 6 weeks.
Okay, fine. We'll consider that. Let's put Malik at 4.
Okay.
And then move to 5.
Okay.
So you have Kyron. So is Nico out of the first round then for you? Should I just not even think about him?
Nah.
Because of the injury?
Yeah, you can't.
If he wasn't injured.
Think about it.
Just tell me if he wasn't injured where he would be.
He's there. I'm taking him. I'm taking Saquon and Jettas over him, but he's right there. And
with Malik and Kyron.
Oh, I'm taking him way over Malik and Kyron.
Okay, fine.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay, fine. But because he's hurt, he's out of the first, and Malik's 4th.
Can't.
Okay, done. Let's talk about the 5th pick. Ladies, who do you have 5th pick?
CeeDee Lamb.
You know what's hilarious?
I have a fun fact.
I'm taking CeeDee Lamb. I'm taking CeeDee Lamb 5th. I know you had
You're
Kyron.
welcome, Luke.
No, I know CeeDee. I think people want to believe he's underperforming. I think he's been fine. I mean, he's been okay. He's been decent. And still just the potential of what he can be, I would still take him 5th, even though he's he's not the 5th best fantasy player today, but based on what he could be, the way you draft before week 1, it's still week 5, and there's 12 more weeks left. And I would take CeeDee, I think 105.
I was looking up his stats real quick to see if there was anything funky.
I know that was a shotgun.
No. So I will
Hannah
say,
just shit her pants and said CeeDee Lamb.
I did have a fun fact that he does have the second easiest receiver defensive ranked coverage essentially.
Who he's played.
Yes, who he's going to play.
Yeah,
No.
we know what he's been last year.
No, better. Not who he's played. Who he's going to play going forward.
Even easier.
Yeah, exactly. So to your point on that, this could be the same thing last year, right? He started out slow. I think he was averaging 12 points a game, not seedy numbers, you know what I mean? But then he also had a historic second half last year where he just blew up the league. I do think I'd take Kyron personally.
Over CeeDee.
Yes, but I think
Why?
they're right there, whatever. I just think the volume that he's going to get with Puka and Cooper Kupp out, and he's a touchdown machine, he's getting targets, he's getting receptions, he's getting it's everything you asked for, and it's kind of the same thing like you said. Wide receivers are deeper. It's a running back that gets targets. I'll take the volume.
Are we going to argue over this and have to agree, or are we just going to agree to disagree and do
We can
our own
agree to
lineups?
disagree.
Okay, fine. You'll take Kyron 105. I'll take CeeDee.
Yeah, and
Okay.
then because I take CeeDee at 106.
I don't. I take
Yeah, you want
Amon
your
Ross
boy.
St. Brown. My boy, the sun god.
You've been on him since day one. Sorry, I didn't mean to say like your boy.
Since he was a rookie.
Yeah, but like that was your guy.
Accidentally, but yeah.
But that's why it's funny.
Like I didn't know him at USC. I just drafted him, and he was the greatest thing that ever happened to me. Besides Jessica. Not really. I'm Unraw. My goat.
You were about him though. He's great,
him.
dude.
Dude, he scored 4 week 1, and he's been over 20 every week
so
since.
you're him over Kyron.
Yeah.
Wow.
I don't know if Kyron's next.
That sucks because I take him next.
That's fine. You're doing great.
Some seedy than I'm.
Do you have investment in Kyron that I'm not aware of?
No, not at all. I don't have him in any leagues. I want him. I tried trading for him. You know what's
oh my god, he literally has scored every week. Oh my god.
He's so good, dude.
No, he's not. Yeah. He's 5'9", 202. That's actually crazy.
Great.
He's thicker than a Snicker.
Over 80% of snaps.
So where are we?
He's
107?
great. Well, you're 106.
No,
you took Amon-Ra.
I took Amon-Ra.
Jesus Christ, I'm Amon-Ra 107.
Are you? Oh yeah, because you're CD 106. So
this is a good Instagram poll.
Oh, there's gonna be a lot of cuts here.
You don't have. I said poll. I didn't say.
Dude, I just don't really believe in Kyron.
You just don't believe in volume with other great players on the offense out.
Dude, this is gonna
where he has to get more volume. I can't believe this. Give me the guy I want you to give me, though. Yeah.
No. This is disgusting. What I'm about to say is my 107. You ready?
No, I wanted you to take him so bad.
No. My 107. Because I don't see it stopping. I don't know why it would stop. I believe in it for the rest of the season. My 107. We're good? What computer made that noise?
You just got...
It's running low. Where's our box?
We can't upload it right to the box.
Okay. Well, keep going. If it stops, I'll let you know.
All right. You're not going to believe this, but my 107 is Derrick Henry.
I don't hate it.
He's been phenomenal. And like worst case scenario, he like slows down for some reason. His top speed has been top 5 in the NFL. I know he's old. I know like everybody.
They just don't want to throw the ball.
Yeah, I know, but he scores. Like he's their goal line guy.
Well, I'm saying to your point, that's why it's not crazy. They just don't want to throw the ball. He's even getting targets.
Yeah, and him and Lamar are great together in the backfield. So that's my 107. All right, we got 3 picks left.
I'm past.
You're kind of just stealing mine because I'm not going to say Kyron, so you just say what I
don't want to steal yours. That's just genuinely where I'm at.
No. I mean, it's a good strategy if you don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, it's crazy. You know who would probably? Oh my god, dude, am I gonna do it?
I don't think you'll say that guy.
I want to so bad. I'm between. You want me? Okay. So you since
yeah.
I'm copying you.
Talk through it.
I'm gonna say 2.
Just talk through it.
AJ Brown, he's healthy. He's back.
Yeah, but he hasn't done anything.
What?
This week? He only played 1 week.
Yeah, but that week was insane.
Yeah, but you made me... That's like, am I going to pick Christian McCaffrey?
No, because he's out for multiple weeks.
But you made me not pick Nico Collins.
But 4 to 6 weeks is different than playing...
Than 4 weeks?
No, than playing this weekend. It's the draft's from here to now. It's going forward.
It's from here to now. Right. Yeah, but... damn, that's a really good point. Fuck. Sorry, Mom. That's a good point.
Like, I think you're drafting the team that's going to make it to playoffs starting 0-0 today. You know what I mean? That's what I've been doing this whole time. That's why I'm Kyron.
Oh, yeah, that's it. Yeah, but Kyron has 6 touchdowns, so he's like out of touchdowns.
No.
That's an interesting way to look at it. He's going to score 28 touchdowns?
Yes. Cooper Kupp and Pucarell. He's on pace to do that. It's crazy, but that's why I'm so Kyron. That's why I'm AJ Brown now too.
All right,
But then it's Alvin Kamara. That's why it's the 2 in between. I need him. He's so good. He's been RB1 all year, and now he's RB2.
No,
literally,
he's still 1.
Is he still 1?
He's number 1.
In PPR?
In flex.
How do you not?
I'm not.
That's crazy.
But I'm going Kyron. So that's my 108.
That's funny.
Go ahead.
Fuck.
Who's your 108?
Excuse me, Aunt Pam. Sorry. 108, dude. Damn. AJ Brown's a great shout, huh?
Yeah. I didn't think about it the way you were thinking about it. So I got my 109.
I'm trying. One second. I'll make a decision soon.
I think I have my 9 and 10.
Do you want to go? I don't still.
You don't have an 8?
Yeah, I do.
No, you got to pick AJ or you got to pick...
Oh, you want me to pick between the two? You can
Or
flop
Kamara.
them. I'm good on both.
So you have 8 and 9.
You could flop them, like, for me. I'd probably go Kamara first. I just said it, yep.
Yeah, but if we're looking, like, outward, like, you're not thinking about Brees or A-Chain?
Isn't that crazy that Kamara makes that push? I mean, he's doing it. Like, I don't need a guy that...
So that's what I'm saying. We
Dude,
should consider this year
but
already.
I can't. Brees Hall, like...
Or, like, McCaffrey, if he comes back 2 weeks from
If
now.
he came back...
Not this week, but next week.
If I was guaranteed 2 weeks, I'm taking CMC already. I'd probably take him...
4.
Oof. Who was 4? Run it back really
Malik.
quick. Oh, that one's tough for me. I'd probably go Malik.
And then it was...
Because if you're starting 2-0 going forward from here, your team almost makes the playoffs.
We're thinking too much because the whole... What you said about... Like, you picking AJ screwed up everything.
No, that was a good pick. He plays this week.
Yeah, but, like, he's done nothing this year to prove that he's going to be good. That's what... Like,
I thought we
that's
were on
what
the same page there.
Yeah, no, and it totally makes sense. I'm just not sure how we should approach this because then I want to take Brees Hall and McCaffrey and maybe Jonathan Taylor.
You can. Actually, that's the fun part of this being a segment.
Oh, really? Because this is my show. Frick. All right, this is going on long enough.
Give me one. Just go. Yeah, give me one.
So my 108 was Kyron, I think, and then I'll take AJ, and then I'll take
good pick.
Tyreek Hill.
That's a good shout. Dude, this is tough.
But honorable mentions were Brees Hall and Jonathan Taylor.
Did I agree on Derrick Henry? I don't think I did.
You have not said Derrick Henry.
Yeah, I
yet.
would take him right now.
Yeah. Oh, no, you did, I think, because you... I don't know. Maybe not. I think you went Kyron and then... I don't know. Whatever.
Yeah, I did. I went Kyron and then I just wrote it out with you.
Whoa. Hey, yo. I don't know. I've had too many beers to remember exactly what we said, but there's the fantasy redraft for you people. And that takes us over to Jessica for our parlay of the week.
Wow. Finally.
Jessica, I'm just going to let you run with this. I'm happy to run through some games if you need to feel it in your balls, but
Thanks, Luke.
Hannah, how big of a leg, how many legs should we have in this parlay? And should it be...
So I do have a cap.
You do?
We
What
need
is
a
it?
cap on her.
I know.
It's up to you.
1-800-GAMBLERS for Jessica.
I
Again,
know. If we don't put a cap, she'll
When you're
do
on the
literally,
radio-
she'll do a 16-leg parlay.
when we're
so.
on the radio and I hear that, volume down.
Yeah. Hannah, how many legs is this parlay going to be? What are we capping her at?
What's your cap?
No. You're setting the cap.
I'll tell you my
I
cap.
feel
Yeah,
like
you-
I'm too conservative with betting. Like, I feel like a 4-leg parlay.
Okay,
Oh
perfect.
my
I love it. I
God.
love it. Right. So, a little bit of a random break there, but parlay of the week. Jessica.
Yeah.
Hannah is holding you to 4 legs.
That's fine. I still want Mike to repeat his parlay. We need to build. We need to get some momentum right now, positive energy. Mike, tell us your parlay.
All right, Mike, what did you hit on? She's making you say it.
I feel bad. I went with all touchdown scorers.
Ooh, a touchdown parlay. You love to see it.
All for the 4 o'clock game. 4 o'clock game, sorry. I went Njigba, the Seahawks, Wan'Dale Robinson on the Giants, my boy Kyron,
Guaranteed touchdown.
guaranteed. I've hammered that this week. Tucker Kraft, Brock Bowers, Jake Ferguson for plus 80,489.
What'd you bet on it and what did you receive?
I bet $10. I cashed out
To win.
before the Dallas game
Oh,
started.
you cashed out?
Yeah.
Because I wouldn't have hit if.
Ferguson didn't score, by the way.
So I cashed. It was a strong.
So he
cash
bet
out.
10 and cashed out at...
That's
Hold
like
on. How
No, I
much?
just cashed out. That's all. We're good. Yeah.
Why are we good? Because people are listening that don't
Yeah.
need to know?
Yeah. They don't.
you just said the
Okay.
odds.
Keep them humble.
They can do the math.
That's why I said the odds.
Anywho,
There
it
we
was
go.
a big win.
All
big
right,
win.
so Mike had a big
It was like
win
Jessica
indeed.
in the casino.
He was texting me throughout. Should I cash out? Should I not?
Great cash out,
Let's
though.
just say he won. He won plenty.
The only thing that I want to note here is I'm aware that tomorrow is one of the best days in college football for those who are fans.
History.
Yeah.
We're gonna get there soon.
I think that we potentially should be fun and put together maybe something
The parlay for that instead.
Okay,
well, the parlay of the week was the last thing for the NFL. So if you do have anything else left for that, anybody in the room, save it for your 2-minute drill. How about that?
I do think Avery would want us to note that we did pretty well on our parlay that we put together.
That's true. I think we were 8 for 10 or 8 for 11.
I think we only didn't hit on
You guys
one.
were convincing me. I'm
we
gonna
missed,
be real.
we missed the Jets. Hey, except for the Jets, we kind of nailed it.
Yeah.
So.
The Panthers Raiders game, I think it was, right? You guys talked me into that one
The
so
over?
hard on
We
one
went
bet.
over, I think, or something.
You like I heard guaranteed money,
it go
and I was
over?
cutting my lawn, and I was like, what?
Yeah, well, you'll be a part of this one. So, all right, well, let's just segue to college football, and we'll end that one with the parlay of the week. Jessica throwing us for a loop, as always.
I'm going to need us all to contribute in this one. I have watched like
These are
3
tough.
total games. So.
That is totally fine, but it is the greatest weekend, maybe, of the past 20 years in college
Decade, at
football.
least.
So, let's do some.
Alternate spreads?
We'll
or
do a
not?
couple fun stories, and then we'll talk about the upcoming week, and then we'll parlay. So, obviously, number one, we have to lead off with Vanderbilt beating Alabama. Incredible. Was not weird. Like, Alabama just beat them. It wasn't really a bad
Vanderbilt?
game. Or, sorry, Vanderbilt just beat Alabama straight up. I mean, led the whole game. It was convincing. They are in the SEC. They're usually weak, but they looked pretty legit. I mean, Alabama did beat Georgia the week before. They came out hot and were blowing them out. Georgia, I mean, if you look at the box score, blew them out in the second half, technically. So, not too sure about Alabama. I mean, obviously they're strong for sure, but Vandy did beat them, and from my perspective, it was pretty legit. The fans were awesome. They did get fined, obviously, so Alabama gets paid for that, like hundreds of thousands of dollars because they stormed the field, but definitely worth it. I don't know.
Dude, they took the field goal post.
I was going to say, I don't know the extent that you saw, but they took the field goal post all the way to the river and dumped it in the river. The cops managed to get it out, but anyway, as far
School
as
pride.
yeah, that's awesome. As far as the game is concerned, though, Vanderbilt came out, played good football, and just straight up beat Alabama.
I feel like Bama kind of has games like this, though, to be honest with you. I feel like that's almost like in their...
With the new playoff format, they're fine.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, like I said, I think this is almost typical Alabama over the last few years, like where they have a shocking loss like this. Like, they're going to come out so insane this week.
Take the spread on Bama is what you're saying.
Yeah, like...
We'll get there.
Yeah, well, that's why I'm trying to, like, I'm tiptoeing, you know what I mean? Because,
Yeah.
we're going to get to that game. But I think this is typical Bama. I'm not worried about him at all. Milrose's is an absolute dog. He's insane.
Oh, that quarterback?
Jesus.
He's so good.
So good.
We'll get there.
Yeah,
We'll get there.
sorry.
Vandy beat Alabama, though. Crazy. All right. Second thing before the upcoming week. Alabama's a part of the upcoming week, obviously, so we don't want to say too much on that. But Ashton, is it Jeanty or Gianti? Jeanty. Holy balls.
Nikes.
Yeah, this kid is incredible. I actually did not put the stats in,
I got it all.
but I believe he's over 1,000 yards already and 12 touchdowns in 5 or 6 games.
So, 16, he's averaging 206 yards per game, 16 rushing touchdowns on the year.
16 rushing touchdowns. I think the
206 over 5 games.
Yeah. So he's at like 1150,
Yeah.
1130. So
Sorry, I didn't have the yardage.
He's
I had his
incredible.
touchdowns when he was averaging.
only thing I want to ask about him is it fluky because he plays for Boise State or is it legit? Awesome stat I saw
Give him the Heisman.
before I know. It's him and Hunter.
It's
Travis
him.
Hunter. The coolest stat I've seen so far before I get your full take, although I feel like you've said enough. If I give him the Heisman, is in whatever conference he's in, it had rushing leaders. He's obviously leading the way at 1,000 and some change.
Yeah.
He's also second if you consider him for yards after contact. Because he's got like 600.
So it's not like he's getting tackled. It's like
it's 600 plus yards after contact.
It's like I'm him.
And then the next leading rusher is like 580 something. So it's him, and then his yards after contact, and then the guy. So like, yes, he's breaking tackles and continuing. But are they the best tacklers? Like, yeah, I mean,
I don't think there's a way to tiptoe around his opponents are obviously not the most talented. Like, there's not one ranked team in that conference, I'm pretty sure.
But what is he going to do? Like, how much better can he play?
That's the thing, though. Like, why does he have to? Like, I think that if he keeps up even half this pace, I just think it's him. I have some fun facts that, like... But
it's like when people say, oh, they had an easy path to the Super Bowl or to the NBA Finals. It's like, okay, but they blew out everybody. So what are you like...
It's just that insane. And like, that's the thing. Like, what he's doing right now. I mean, dude, it's 3 touchdowns a game. Like, talk about Kyron touchdown machine. If it was like
Division II football, it would be like, that's crazy.
Yeah. Like, these 206 yards a game is mind-blowing.
And he's had games like under 15 carries.
Since 1956, there's only 25 players that have had over 2,000 yards. Like, he's...
in college football.
Yeah.
And he's already halfway there through 5 games. He's like putting up Barry Sanders numbers.
That's
Barry
so
Sanders,
insane.
Yeah.
Like when you break it down like that. Sorry, but like to your point.
He's crazy. I love him. I love him. I don't want to talk too much because
half the way there.
I want to spam him in Dynasty Draft next year. I have 3 first-round picks. I'm gonna reach on him, I think.
What do you want for him?
Your life. Yeah, anyway, Ashton Gene T or Gene T, I think you said it was, is at Boise State. If you haven't seen him play, go watch him. He's not playing in the SEC, but he's putting up video game numbers, to say the least. Like, unfathomable numbers.
Not even on all Madden.
206 yards.
Yeah, it's like, but my point is, like, it's not like video game stats.
More than 3 touchdowns.
It's easy settings, 2 for him.
Yeah, easy settings,
like,
video games.
So easy that he's breaking every tackle.
Yeah. Anyway. Okay. This upcoming week, Jessica alluded to it. I'm going to run through, and then we'll build a parlay. Actually, let me say this quick stat first before we do that, because that'll be the end of the college football. I saw this thing. I posted it on the Instagram. If you're not following, Sideline Banter with a Z. The former, what was known as the Pac-12, Mike, I don't know if you know this. This season, they're 21-2 overall, and they're 3-0 against SEC opponents. Somebody made a post, and they were like, oh, this group of teams here, and then highlighted what was the Pac-12, is 21-2, and they're 3-0 against the SEC. If only they made a conference for themselves. And it's like, oh, yeah.
It'd be cool.
They had one.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
there's like a million teams.
I thought that was interesting just because everybody was so gung-ho about joining the Big 12 or the SEC or the ACC, and the teams that were the Pac-12. I mean, I know they couldn't get the funding or whatever it was, but the teams that were the Pac-12 are showing out this year, and they're 21-2, 3-0 against the SEC. So, I don't know. Little fun fact, but
it's funny because you want to say
you saw that yet.
No, I did not. But it's funny because you want to say the SEC's better at football too.
Yeah, and they probably are, but
I mean, no,
not this year, not so far.
Yeah. You want to jump into some of the games? You want to jump into a parlay?
Run me through the upcoming week, and we'll talk about. Just run me through straight up the games. We'll talk about some of the fun ones, and then we'll get a parlay going.
All right. So you got Oklahoma, Texas. I think that's the one people are looking forward to most.
Red River rivalry. Whoa. Sorry. Something like that.
No, you're right.
Red River. Red
Rover.
Red River rivalry. There we go. Game. All right.
That's 18 versus 1.
Yep.
So like that's interesting. You got the whole Ewers coming back, but we can get into that later, like you said.
Yep.
But so that'll be interesting. You get Oregon 3 versus Ohio State 2.
Mm-hmm.
Also interesting. 2 high-powered teams, and like you brought up the Pac-10 stats. Like that's an interesting game. You get Ole Miss LSU. A little SEC.
Ole Miss is really good this year too. LSU always is, but Ole Miss will be a good matchup.
Kansas State, Colorado. I feel like people just kind of jump on the Colorado wagon, but they're also playing like at higher ranked team than when like they played even Nebraska.
Colorado's always must watch, but Kansas State gives them a good game every year.
Penn State, USC. USC was supposed to be. They were ranked coming in. They were supposed to be
They'll probably be good.
They're supposed to be better than they're doing.
They have been. Yeah. And Penn State's been great.
And Penn State's 4. And then, like I said earlier, you get Alabama versus South Carolina. Another little SEC matchup.
Yeah. I have a couple more, actually. I got Stanford, Notre Dame.
Notre Dame's always a must-watch.
They're just two, like, blue blood teams. Like, the people
we'll grind it out.
Yeah. They're always going to be good. Even if they're not ranked, they're going to be legitimate teams. Like, the recruits they get are always legit. I mean, Shane Gillis, you can't look past a recruit like that. Christian McCaffrey. And then another one you didn't mention, but I think could be
Shout
good.
out to Milk.
Only one of these teams is ranked, but another SEC matchup, Tennessee, Florida. And I don't know which, I don't remember. Hold on. Give me 1 sec. Where's my EM?
No, you're right. You got Tennessee, Florida. Sorry, I was checking as well.
No, yeah. I know that's the matchup. I just want to see.
You think there's one more outside of that?
No. I mean, there is. There's Georgia, Mississippi State,
Yeah,
which
Georgia
is the SEC,
blows
but
them
Georgia
out,
blows them
though.
out. But what I wanted to say was Tennessee is ranked 8th, although Florida was highly touted going into this season and are unranked. So I think that could be a good game, SEC matchup.
Kind of like a USC kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly. Like Florida's known to be a great football program and still should be pretty good this year, but Tennessee is also
phenomenal.
good, but overperforming right now. So like I think it's going to be a good matchup. So that being said, we just ran through like 9 or 10 great matchups this weekend, and Jessica, we're gonna have to ship it over to you for Jesse's parlay of the week, which you recommended be college football. So we've shared some of our perspectives, and we will share even more as you go through these games.
Awesome. I'm excited. Do you want to do a money line, like straight up bet?
I want to do what you think is going to win
Money
this
line
weekend.
5 best for college football, I feel
Right?
like.
Or
No,
over,
we're
under?
spreading everything.
So
No alternates?
Let me hear what you got. I don't have the bets in front of me, so you run me through it.
we can run through
That's a
them.
lot
Do you
I
want
do.
to? I want to get our honest feedback. I did something interesting while you were talking. I was curious. I was curious if we can like scrape the web for data analytics with ChatGPT, and I did. They gave me some interesting things.
All right.
I said, build me a parlay, and it did. But we'll compare.
Did you say for college football?
Yeah, I did. I was very specific.
I would hope so.
That's what I was
So let
asking.
me tell you the first thing they gave
Scotty
me.
Scheffler to
I wasn't-
win
yeah, I
the
wasn't
US
sure if you
Open
found a
in
winner, but-
2026.
Well, she could have found one winner.
So
on
the
just
first
normal
thing they
one.
gave me based off 5 sites, they went Texas. They took them to cover.
They're minus 15.
Yes, they took them to cover. Said Texas Longhorns are coming off a bye and face an inconsistent Oklahoma team. Except
I
Quinn
can't-
Ewers is exploit whatever. He's going to exploit
Texas
Oklahoma's
Longhorns
weak
panic.
defense and lead Texas to a dominant victory.
Horns
I'm
down.
reading you.
Nah.
I don't
I'm
care.
reading you based on this. Oregon +3. They have reasons. And then it was Washington under 42.5. Sort of kind of hate it. All right.
I'm not into the
Really
Washington
quick,
one.
the fun thing on the Oklahoma side is that, dude,
Can we just take the over then?
they're starting a corner.
This is about,
they
we're in
have
the
a
business of
cornerback
making
at
money,
receiver
not
because they have so
emotions.
many receivers injured. They're like, we need you to try to do your best interpretation of
I don't
Travis
want
Hunter.
to. I don't want to hear this.
So,
we're
like,
taking
Stay out of it if you want to make $0 for the rest of your life. 'cause
I'm
you wanna
hammering Texas.
care about things
the
that
cover
don't matter.
14.5.
All right, so we have. Okay? I have literally Massachusetts is +27.5. Like I don't even know. I've never watched one
Jessica,
game.
we need to be in the top 25 here.
Okay, then do it with me.
All right.
Texas, Oklahoma.
All right. I'm
Good shit.
not saying it because look at me in the camera.
That'd be crazy.
Horns
if they covered.
down.
Oh, they're gonna. I took them to cover. I'm
All right, well,
riding
Mike's
this out.
co-hosting and Jessica's got the vote. So if it was Ave, it would be 2v3, and we have to go.
I'm writing it down. What are we going with?
14.5, you said?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Wait,
So
you
sad.
have that?
I'm sorry, Baker. I'm sorry, Kyler. I'm sorry, Adrian.
I'm sorry to them too.
I'm sorry.
I just
Sam
want to confirm. We're
Bradford.
taking Oklahoma
Sam
to cover.
No.
Oh,
That's why I'm crying, you dingbat.
Oh, you like
wanna
Oklahoma.
take Texas to cover.
He's an Oklahoma guy.
all right.
Dude, I like Oregon money line. If I don't want to take them, I mean, I guess the cover's better, but the
Oregon,
odds
Ohio
Oregon over Ohio
State.
I do.
Let's
It's such a long
I
travel.
like Oregon too. You're
and Ohio
literally
State doesn't cover the spread, I'm pretty
Whoops.
sure.
all right.
Spread.
Oregon +3.
Oh my God, +3. Just do +3.
Oregon.
We don't have to
+3.
either. Like,
You like the money line? We should take them +3.
Oregon +3.
that's what I just said, too.
and
But
a
I said the
half.
odds aren't better, so it depends what you want.
I hate that FanDuel does half bets. Anyway,
Ole Miss goes into LSU and wins by 4.
Now they get cooked.
Well,
Penn
LS
State USC.
Take LSU +3.5.
Penn State
Dude,
USC.
you're not even. I'm saying when you're just like you're ready to rock with it. Like, we don't
Well,
have
I kind
to.
of said it first, and then you backed me up.
No, I thought you said what's it called wins.
No, I'm looking at the line. I'm saying like Ole
Oh,
Miss
you
goes
think
in there and wins
you're
by 4. No way.
You meant LSU. Yeah,
Yeah, I'm like,
you mean LSU
that's
covers.
crazy.
I agree. I'm taking it. I'm with you.
Okay.
Boise State -20.5.
Can you stay on track for once? What did you just say?
LSU to cover +3.5.
So we're at Oregon, Texas.
And LSU.
Tennessee's -15.
Dude,
Against
Georgia's
Florida.
16.5 on FanDuel.
Georgia's 33.5.
Yeah.
I'm not taking
I
that.
have 34 on ESPN.
I think we should touch it.
No,
Let's
we
touch
shouldn't.
it.
No.
Can we go over under on that?
No, because that Alabama game was so weird. I don't want to.
I don't want to bet on this, but I just want to let you know. Upset of the week is Arizona over BYU.
Why would you not want us to bet on that?
Because they could lose, but it would be cool if I was right. But I didn't want to say that.
Should we take Boise to cover 21 and just go
Reason?
all in on G?
Because they're playing
They need to
Hawaii.
win
Is
a lot.
Hawaii
No,
good?
they haven't been winning by a lot, I don't think.
All right, no, leave it alone.
Okay. Are we
Give us a team. Yeah, Jessica, it's your parlay, my bad.
Yeah.
That's fine. It's your world. We're just living in it. You and Luke.
Stanford's +23.
It's vicious.
It's crazy.
Dude, the Georgia line's the craziest line of the weekend.
Yeah, that is.
Yeah, but Mississippi State is going to lose by 40.
You think you want to take that?
Honestly, when the lines are that big, they like hit.
Get it. That's
Mississippi
Not true.
State +33.5.
sorry.
No,
Mississippi State 3.5. You said
33.5. I'm not betting against Georgia. I'm sorry. Can we just take Florida +15 and then call it a day?
no. I think they get waxed by Tennessee, and I want to win money still. I know this is fun, but
Tennessee.
I'm going to keep a close eye on that game then.
okay. I would say I'm on Colorado. Unfortunately,
+3.
yeah.
I like our bet so far.
Kansas State might wax them. They're 4-1 though. Why don't we just take the over of that game?
I've been
Calm
saying that
down,
for the
that's a
last
good
10
call.
years. No one. What? Great. Okay.
Wait, what? No one. What?
Nothing. Say it.
I said, why don't we just take the over of Kansas State, Colorado?
Okay. So we're not doing +3.5.
No, over. I have 55 here.
Dude, this is $10. Went 111.
We're not done, Mike.
This is a great. Oh, I thought we only were doing 4.
Handicap is at 4. All right, the rest is you, Jessica. I'm done.
I don't know. I think, dude, that's so strong. I mean, spoken of, I guess, a guy that is betting money, but
Pitt at home against Cal -3.5.
Let me just check it one more
is Pitt
time.
good this year?
What
They're
about
22nd.
these lines? Are so crazy sometimes.
I can see that too.
All right, yeah, no.
I think I'm
What?
good. Dude, this is such a strong parlay. I'll send it to you. You're going to want this one.
I'm done too.
So we have Texas -14.5, Oregon +3.5, LSU +3.5, Colorado over 55.5.
Yeah. Dude, I'm only worried about the Colorado one, and that one has the best odds.
Lock it in, bitch.
All right, we're gonna lock it in.
Locked on mine.
I have to.
It's like +1,000.
More.
Lock it in, Bickle.
Oregon.
He's a Colorado guy, too. Isn't that funny? That kind of goes well with a Mets fan.
Oh, great.
Texas.
Yeah, pussy.
That's good.
All right.
You know how much he's going to love all these shout-outs?
I don't, but I know he messages me a lot. He's nice to me, though. He's brutal to you.
He's nice to me.
Oh, okay. I love Bick. I
Good,
kind
that
of
was
want to
good.
dance with him on
I
the
think
dance floor again.
think that might hit.
Dude didn't wear a tie to my wedding, though.
That's fine.
I just busted on him for it.
I know. I mean, he went full Guido. So that's cool. Is he Italian? He looked Italian at your wedding.
He looked like the Italian stallion
he
if there
is.
ever
He
was
looked like
one.
Tony Soprano
I guess he
in his
kind of is.
prime.
He's got to be some degree.
Vic, comment on this pod
Yeah.
and let us know if you're Italian.
He looked like how a Mets fan would look.
Yeah, he did.
Oh.
All right, there you go. There's college football this week. We're juiced. They deserve a little bit more. Oklahoma, Texas. Yours is coming back.
Yeah.
Manning's been playing great, but yours
Yours
is
is
coming
an
back.
announced starter.
Oklahoma's
Actually, not just
injured
back.
out the wazoo. Texas will probably win, but I'm rooting Oklahoma. Hopefully they don't. Minus 14.5 is ridiculous. I'm pissed. It's a part of the parlay. Penn State, USC. It's a great matchup. Penn State will win. Bama, South Carolina, SEC matchup. Alabama will win. Notre Dame, Stanford, I thought would be great. Kind of blue bloods, like always great. But Notre Dame is a huge overdog. What do you even call that? 23-point favorites. Tennessee, Florida, same deal. Thought it'd be a great game. Mike's scared of Tennessee. I would take Florida to cover a 15-point spread is what I think I saw. But we stayed away from that game. Reasonable. Mike is better at college football than I am. Oregon, Ohio State. Mike loves Oregon, particularly because Ohio State is traveling, but there's a lot of talent on that Ohio State team. Big Ten football is usually tougher than what was the Pac-12. So we stayed away from that too because we're unsure. LSU, Ole Miss. I would take LSU. I want to believe we didn't put anything in on that either, but that should be a great game because...
No, we bet on LSU.
We did. Okay, good. I would take LSU, and we did. Although I will say Ole Miss is one of those blue blood teams and is playing...
You see them fake an injury in the last game?
Yeah. Well, you got to do what you got to do. They are playing pretty well. They do have their seasons like every 4 years where they're great, and then they're like above average the other one. So that is our college football segment, and we will transition quickly into the NHL. We'll show what you got. It is opening week, so we got to prove to the people that we are indeed Sideline Banter and cover everything. So a couple of big stories going into this NHL season. Thank goodness we have Hannah here to be an NHL expert. But before she can break the ice, pun intended, the things I want to talk about are first, Ovechkin is 42 goals away from breaking Gretzky's goal record. He's got 2 years left on his contract. He is super duper old, but he's a great player.
Super duper good.
He's averaged over 20 goals a season for his entire career. So in theory, he could break this if he averages 21 the next 2 years. I don't know if he will or not. Ovechkin is a top 5 player of all time. If I'm speaking from the heart, I don't want him to. I really don't. Gretzky is the best player of all time. Ovechkin's longevity is incredible. I just love saying the statistic, and the statistic will live on.
Oh, I love this
But
one.
Gretzky leads the NHL in goals and assists. But the coolest statistic ever is that he obviously, because of that, leads the NHL history in points. But if he scored 0 goals in his career, he would still lead the NHL in points. That's
It's
how
so
many assists he
mind-blowing.
has. So whether Ovechkin breaks this record or not, Gretzky will still hold that record by a mile. But
You
I just
miss
love
100% of the shots you don't take.
you do indeed miss 100% of the shots you don't take. Not sure how that relates to.
You said it.
Oh, Wayne Gretzky said it. Yeah, sorry. Thank
Oh my
you. Hannah.
God,
My
Lou.
God, Luke. Jeez.
Well, really quick, so also just so people don't know, sorry, didn't mean
Michael
that.
Scott said that.
Well, no, if it's two, so people don't know, in the NHL it's 2 goals, or for a goal it's 2 points, and for an assist it's 1 point.
Is that true?
Yeah.
Yes.
All right.
So, like, it's even crazier that, like, if
That's
you,
how many assists he has.
Yes,
How-
like, it's not like it's 1 for 1, it's 2 for 1 kind of thing.
How common is it that you, like, what's the average lifespan of a hockey player?
Really long.
I'm gonna find it.
I will say,
That's something you look up.
just like another pat on the back,
Ovechkin's got gray hair.
that and the Tiger Woods, like, stats are my favorite ever.
Ovechkin's
Yeah.
like 40, I think.
I think he's 41 or 2. Yeah. So anyway, that's a storyline going in. How much can he produce? He's still in Washington.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's still in Washington.
Hey, what to him?
He's great. I'm a big fan. I'm just too big a fan of Gretzky. I would rather not see him score 42 more goals in his career. He may not. It really is up in the air, in my opinion. I don't know if you differ.
I just think he's dog, so I feel like it's hard to bet against him. I feel like
42 goals in 2 years.
Couldn't have done it over his whole career. Why would you start now? Kind of thing.
And he might just like do it.
Also, like devil's advocate, it kind of would be funny to say the Gretzky stat, but then be like, someone literally does have more goals than him.
Yeah.
But
it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
If he had 0.
Yeah. Like it adds to the stat more.
I don't know if it does though, because it's like, he leads history in goals. That's what it is now.
He's like,
but by the way, if he didn't lead the league in goals, even if he didn't lead the league, if he had 0, like that's how I do it now. Anyway.
Do you think it'll happen this season?
No
shot, right?
42.
But I think he's had a high of like 41.
I think he's broken 50. I think he's had like almost 60.
I think like
Jessica, what's the
was his
best?
high.
What's the best goals?
I have no clue.
No, Jessica's gonna look it up. She's our Jamie. Ovechkin's most goals in one season. I think he broke 50.
I just don't. I think he's not like a first line guy. He's not getting ice time like that anymore.
I don't think he's getting 42, but he's got, like I said, he's got a 2-year contract still. So
imagine if he just cranks out like 37 this year.
I'd be pissed.
I think. Wait, hold on. This is per Let me find it.
In one season.
In one season. Okay.
Oh, so 30, right?
Well, he's done that his 18th, 30th goal season. So that can't. Hold on.
That bald head.
It's not helpful.
Looks like Machayev in that.
I looked this up. I was like, Jessica, this has to be the easiest thing to find.
Not, right?
And I'm like, I can't find it anywhere.
You can't filter it.
It's all like points per game.
Yeah. It says
52.
Okay.
In 05-06. Wait, no, that's not true. Oh, no.
I see 52 in 05
but I see
and
65 in 07-08.
And it's not. Oh, I see 100.
He had 52 goals
No,
in his
it is.
rookie season.
65.
65 in
Yeah,
07,
that's
08.
crazy.
So
Jesus,
he's
how did I
been
just do that?
playing-
That's quick.
He's been playing
Same.
since
I said 65.
05 and 06. That's his rookie year, right? The average. So I have a question on this because the average hockey player I found, which is wild to me considering what I just said, is 4.5 years. 25% of those players have 12 years of that. 75, whatever. I don't like that stat. So is this a question of? No,
We were
'cause I
just
guess he's
talking,
still
even
good.
if he hit his highest,
Well,
technically.
I'll say this. He's been playing almost 20 years. His worst. Last year was not his worst. Last year he had 31. His worst.
Oh, he's so good.
Yeah. Hold on. Ready for this? His worst was 24, which over the next 2 years of his contract would break the record. And that was in 2020, 2021,
Wow.
which I'm pretty sure was the COVID year.
Yeah.
Or even if it wasn't,
Just no fans.
he only played 45 games.
So
And he scored
Gretzky also-
24.
So it was a
Gretzky-
games thing that year where he didn't even.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Wow.
He's,
So he scores 30 goals this year.
he might. He's played 79 games and scored 31 last year.
But Wayne Gretzky also played 20 seasons. So that's what I was comparing. Like, is it just like,
Yeah,
let
how
me just
many
stay in the
seasons
league
of Ovechkin
longer
now,
so
did you
I
say?
can...
Good idea,
I
Jess.
think
No, they
it's
have
like
about the
40.
same career.
well, he 20 seasons. He retired at 38.
Yeah, let me.
So now I don't
Ovechkin's
feel...
first season was 05-06. So this will be 4-5. So this is year 19.
Okay, so now I don't feel
So
as bad if
2
he does
years,
hit it, right?
2 years would be 20.
If he does hit it,
Wow.
then good for him.
Yeah. Oh, it's just Gretzky has a million more assists.
Talk about passing of the torch, though, for like
Yeah.
something
I
like
mean,
that.
Ovechkin is a guy who, if it's not Ovechkin, it had to be like Crosby or Lemieux.
I have another question.
Had to be Ovechkin.
Yeah.
I feel like basketball, baseball, I don't know about footballs doing this, but I don't know much about hockey, so that's why I'm asking it. They're kind of adjusting with the times. Like you have players like LeBron that came out of high school and then everyone started shooting threes and also doing other things. Is hockey, like it seems like there's this one player and then that next one player that we just spoke about that are like, they're so significantly better than everybody else.
Yeah,
Why
he
are we
actually
seeing more of it?
He just came into the NHL last year, actually.
They
Connor
have
Connor Bedard.
Bedard and McDavid.
What's his name?
McDavid as well.
Bedard.
Okay.
And there's another one. I'm about to get into it, but it's a great question. Hockey has made a couple rule changes, particularly in overtime. They changed the way that works. The goalie pads are bigger than they used to be. So, like, goal scoring has been more difficult.
People get more athletic, like basketball kind of thing.
Yeah, the speed is different.
I think people come in a little later in life, too, because they usually play juniors before they even go to college.
Yes.
Yeah, like Payton's playing in the USHL still.
Yeah. Even Kevin Kerr was playing juniors. All that being said, there are special players like Ovechkin and Crosby and maybe Stamkos are like our generation's greats. But there was like Lindros and Ronek and Forsberg in the early 2000s. And Gretzky played recently enough that it's not like Wilt Chamberlain. Like, he played in the 90s. Did he play in the early 2000s? Maybe. Like, super early. Like, he was kind of Jordan era kind of guy. So it's not like he's so old that the rules change so much that it's different. Me being a Gretzky guy feels like a lot of people being a Jordan guy. It's just that I don't think there's been a LeBron. Like, I don't think Ovechkin's LeBron.
Why? He clearly has a...
Because he's like Kevin Durant to me.
Ew.
Yeah. Kevin Durant's great. You can say he's a better scorer than Jordan, maybe. Like, he can score in so many different ways. Scorer. But, like, he's not better than Michael Jordan.
I need to check you on that. I need to ask a hockey player fan.
Ask Steve tomorrow.
Who's the best comparison to Ovechkin in the NBA?
Kevin Durant.
Luka.
Kevin Durant.
I don't know. For some reason, I don't trust you when you say that.
All right. Comment on the podcast.
By that, I mean that Luka's going to get a championship. Like, he's going to be great by then.
I think the best comparison to Ovechkin is Kevin Durant.
Why? If you're meaning like if they retire today, yes, Kevin Durant.
Why?
Because he's a goal scorer. He's not Michael Jordan.
And Kevin Durant knows how to score buckets.
Kevin Durant is the best scorer.
So hard for my
Kevin
brain
Durant
to
is the best scorer of all time.
Yeah.
I just think. Yeah.
All right. Ovechkin's 42 goals away from breaking Gretzky's record.
Well, now I'll watch the NHL.
We shall see.
Yeah, I should make a water bet.
I wouldn't be pissed that it's Ovi, but I would be pissed that Gretzky's record gets beaten. All right. Next on the NHL, going into the season, Macklin Celebrini. Could be Celebrini. I think it's Celebrini. Plays for the Celebrini. Plays for the San Jose Sharks. He was the number 1 overall pick this year. He's only 18. In the NCAA, he graduated early from high school to go play at Boston University, which is an incredible hockey school. He was the 4th freshman ever to win Player of the Year in the NCAA, and he's the youngest ever to do it because he graduated early from high school. So the Sharks actually drafted, I don't know if they had 2 first-round picks or just a killer second-round pick, but they have 2 very great young prospects. So very excited to watch this kid, Macklin Celebrini for the San Jose Sharks. Super, super, super young, and was the best player in college Division I hockey last year. Sounds like Hannah might know a little bit about him. I'm not sure that anybody else does, but that's going to be an exciting storyline. I actually I'm a Flyers fan, obviously, but I like the San Jose Sharks a lot. Anybody got any juice on that?
I don't know much about it, but I saw him call his dad the other day, which was like a really cool video.
When he got drafted?
Yeah.
Oh, that is cool.
Why do you like the Sharks?
I don't know. I played
Joe Thornton.
In my freshman year of college, I wasn't much of a Villanova. You had to like have a fake ID and go out, and I didn't. At Haverford, there was a lot of partying on campus and whatever, so I didn't need anything. So that was much easier and more fun. But because of that, I would just play the NHL with my friends and either drink in the dorm room or just hang out because I couldn't get into bars and stuff. And I always used the San Jose Sharks, and it was great. So anyway, look out for this kid, Macklin Celebrini. Looks like he's super legit. I mean, super young for the NHL, but at least in the coming years. Third major story going into this year, we have a couple extra things on the NHL, but going into this year is the Utah Hockey Club. They don't have an official name, or maybe they do.
That is their official name.
The Washington football team were the football team for a year or two, and then they found a name, but it could be
they should have stayed as the football team.
I kind of like the Utah Hockey Club more than I like the Washington football team.
Yeah, but now they're the Washington Commanders, so they could be the Utah Yeti, the Utah.
Yeah, but the Utah Hockey
Yeti
Club
be
sounds
good.
cool. Like I would wear that on a shirt.
You'd be like a hockey mom.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Fine.
Because it's like
Where's my
it's like
Cadillac
soccer.
Escalade?
Yeah.
It's like soccer, like Arsenal FC,
Yeah,
Barcelona
because I think it's
FC.
the club name to it.
Yeah, but anyway, that'll be cool. Did they do the same thing as Vegas, where they had the special draft, or did they move? Do you know?
No, I don't.
Do you know?
Professional hockey expansion team based in Salt Lake City.
Oh, an expansion team. Okay, so yeah, they it's a brand new team then, and they probably did like each team can save like 5 or 7 or 10 players.
It has to be more than that. That's crazy.
No, I swear it's like that much. That's why the
they draft.
That's why the Vegas Knights were so good.
That's so vicious.
That's why the Vegas Knights were
I know,
so
I
good.
know,
They
I
took
know.
the goalie from
I want
the
to play.
Penguins.
That sounds like
Mark
a fun
Andre,
game.
yeah. Because the Penguins were like,
Wow, the NBA should
Crosby,
do
Malkin.
I think I might
And,
decide that they're my new hockey team from this podcast.
The Utah Yeti.
The Utah Hockey Club. Get it right.
I'm pushing for you.
Imagine if the NBA did that and you get to keep 6 or 7 players.
I know, it'd be awesome. Well, it would be 5. Like you keep your starting lineup.
I thought that was gonna be a stretch.
Yeah, I think 5. So yeah, we'll see what the Utah Hockey Club's all about. The Las Vegas Knights were legit year 1. So we'll see what the Utah's all about. Next, Mike, I'll let you run with this a little bit, but Bedard's sophomore jump, we'll see what he's all about. Hugely scouted rookie, number 1 overall pick, obviously. McDavid is in year like 6, I think now. He's been the young stud for the past few years, but Bedard now, the young kid, so sophomore year, what do we think?
I just think, like we were saying, like there's people that come around that are like Ovi, and then there's people again like Gretzky, and like I feel like that torch just keeps passing down because even like the generations you were saying, between like Forsberg and so on. I mean, I just think he's great. I think he's like.
Are you skipping McDavid?
No.
Okay.
Honestly, I just.
He's a middle. I mean,
yeah,
you know, 6 years apart.
It's Ovechkin, McDavid, Bedard, like for sure.
Are you? What about Crosby? Ovi's with Crosby?
Yeah, I guess, but I think I take Ovi because he does it. Like
Crosby's been the captain since he was 19.
Yeah, but I don't think it's like he's not doing what like Ovi's 31 goals a year. Like I don't think he's doing that. I could be wrong.
No, you're right. But like Crosby feels like a Tom Brady to me, where it's like he's a winner though, and Ovi's like Aaron Rodgers or Drew Brees.
I don't know how many cups he has.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, me neither.
Jessica,
how many cups does Sidney Crosby have versus Alex Ovechkin?
I do hear what you're saying, and like I get those vibes too. But I'm like, is he giving vibes or?
I think like what if it's 3-1?
Like he went to 4.
I think Ovechkin has 1. What if Crosby has 3 or 4?
Oh.
If he has 2, I'm happy to go over.
Yeah, I guess it would have to be 3 to be good.
Crosby is 1, 3.
Yeah, it
and
sucks.
Ovechkin 1. 1.
It sucks.
So it's close.
It's gotta be Crosby actually. Then.
Crosby played 177 games. I know I said it like that.
Way more
177. And then Alex played 144.
In the playoffs?
It's only 30.
Oh. I don't know if that's in the playoffs.
It's gotta be.
Yes, this is NHL playoffs.
Either way, it's Crosby. Whatever,
stats.
yeah, sure. Whatever.
Anyway, Bedard.
Yeah. Dude, then,
Bedard's one of those
They're
guys.
together, yeah.
Yeah.
And like last year, he only played 68 games and he had 61 points.
Oh,
and most of it was assists because like he actually got a lot of backlash for he was supposed to be like that next
scoring more.
Yeah, the next guy, and people were like, he's not scoring.
He'll be fine.
Yeah, that's my point. Is like a lot of those points last year in only 68 games is also assists. Where like he's gonna score more when he's in there all year.
He'll be
and
more
all
comfortable,
that.
confident. Yeah. All right, last thing on the NHL, something pretty cool. Jessica Campbell, first woman assistant coach.
She kind of looks nice too.
For the Kraken. Where's the Kraken from?
Your words, not mine.
Seattle.
Yes.
Thank you, Hannah. Our hockey expert. The Seattle Kraken. Jessica Campbell, assistant coach. I actually saw a clip of her writing up plays, like completely all in. The coach had a pretty cool interview where he was like, yeah, it's cool that she's the first woman assistant coach, yada, yada, yada. I mean, I guess that's great for the history of hockey, but I just tried to hire the best person. So
she has a really good resume.
Yeah, I respected that answer as far as like respecting the whole history of it, but at the same time being like, listen, it's not a charity case here. I'm trying to win games, and we hired the best person that we could. So a little bit of background. Sounds like Jessica might have more to add, but she played at Cornell. She was great. And then she also played internationally in a couple of Olympics. I actually don't know for which country. Is she American?
I think she might be from Canada, but
even better.
I think she has coaching experience, which I feel like this is where you'd want it, in Sweden and like Germany. She lived, and
I think she coached in the what's the Phantom? What is that? Not the G League, obviously that's basketball.
Yeah, she did. I think
They're
she
talking
won.
About, like their amateur league.
Yeah, I forget what it's
I thought you were
called.
gonna say
they
the
have like
Phantom
an
Menace.
affiliate league, maybe like the Phantom or like the Flyers team, whatever. I think she has legitimate coaching experience too.
Yeah,
I don't
so
know
she coached Germany in the World Championship in 2022 as just one of them. She has a ton of experience. I watched her speak. That's why I know a little bit about her. And I remember, because it kind of sounds like me with baseball. She was like, "Oh, I just was like raised in a locker room, so like being around guys, it's not really." And like coaches were always guys who just didn't treat me like a girl. So she kind of had the vibe like, I know I'm a girl, but like I just want to do my job, and I want to do it well.
Yeah, she's good.
She's kind of pretty though. I saw like a hockey player talking to her,
She's
and I
a
feel
1.
like 1 or a 0, definitely a 1.
Yep.
I think he was kind of like smiling at her, and she was just like
That's my
talking.
wife.
She was like, "Oh, she's 32." I have her whole resume up right now. Hey, what do you want to know?
No, that's it. I think we covered enough. Jessica Campbell. We'll see how the Seattle Kraken do, but just thought that was a cool story. Nice response from her and the coach. Kind of, I don't know that they're trying to get baited, but everything I've heard about the story has been legit and cool, and yeah, cool. So that's all we have for the NHL. Unless somebody, Anna, expert, anything to add that we missed?
No.
We got it pretty good.
Yeah.
The people will be happy.
Yes.
Great. Okay.
Got that.
So, quick transition. Feels like a long episode. We'll see how long this ends up
Definitely is.
being out. But football. We're going to traverse the Atlantic Ocean. I think we can run through this pretty quickly. I just wanted a quick update because the leaderboard stayed the same. Liverpool's on top. Arsenal and Man City are second and third, tied on points. I believe City's above in goal differential, which puts them in second. And all three of those teams won. Tottenham, surprising loss to Brighton, so they fell a little bit in the standings. And Chelsea and Man U both tied. Those are obviously the Power Six of the Premier League. I don't want to be so fast, but I'll run through that one more time. Arsenal win, Man City win, Liverpool win. So Liverpool stays on top of the table with City and Arsenal right behind them. And then Liverpool lost to Brighton. Again, surprise. Chelsea draw, Man U draw.
Liverpool.
Bukayo Saka, Cole Palmer, and Erling Haaland. So Saka for Arsenal, Palmer for Chelsea, and Haaland for City. For me, Mike, the top three players so far this year. All of them pretty much 1, 2, and 3 for goals and assists. Really, for me, not too much more to add for the Premier League as far as updates. The power teams are still at the top, and those three players pretty much. Saka joins the top three. It used to just be Palmer and Haaland, but like those three are the best right now in the Premier League as far as like player of the year is concerned, statistically, and their teams winning, so on and so forth. So, not sure you have much more to add, but any thoughts on the Premier League?
Just Holland's a absolute GTA cheat code. You just type it in and he just goes and scores.
Yeah, he's like R1, R2,
yeah,
BB.
It's insane.
L3.
It's insane. And you win.
Goal. Yeah, he's breaking records on hat tricks.
He's nuts.
Goals per game. It's incredible. I mean, he definitely plays for the team for that.
Oh, for sure.
I don't know if you saw like he tied Ronaldo in 100 goals in 105 games or something, but like the distance with which they've shot the shots that were those goals.
Oh, I didn't see.
Ronaldo's radius is like way further out, and Haaland's just hitting headers. Listen, I think he's more than a legitimate striker. I think he's phenomenal. But like when you're getting balls from Bernardo and Silva and Doku and Grealish and all those players and Foden, it's like, if you're a decent striker, you're going to be fine on City.
Oh, 1,000,000%.
They win without a good striker.
Yeah, I mean, because didn't
they had Aguero, Balotelli
last year,
2 years ago.
Gabriel Jesus is who I'm thinking of.
Jesus used to be their striker.
Yeah, that's my point.
Maybe
but
like Negredo. Am I making that up?
Does he start?
He doesn't even start for Arsenal.
Think about that.
Yeah. So anyway, Haaland's great, and he's playing for a great team. So he's probably leading my player of the year. But Saka and Palmer having great years. That's pretty much your update on the Premier League. Quick transition into the Bundesliga. I didn't want to leave it for nothing, but Bayern's in first and Leverkusen's in fifth. If you remember the beginning of the podcast, we were talking about the end of the Bundesliga season where Leverkusen had this historic year where they didn't lose, and Harry Kane came over from Tottenham having never won a trophy, and Bayern having won the past 11 or 12 Bundesligas, and of course they come in second the first year that Harry Kane joins them.
So vicious.
But
Harry
it looks
Kane.
it's very early in the season. I think they're 6 games in, but it looks like Bayern's going to be fine this year. It's not like Leverkusen's so far behind, even though they're in fifth. There's only so many points to have been had so far. But I don't see Bayern not winning 2 years in a row, in my opinion.
I would agree with that. I think it's, I don't want to say a fluke, because that just sounds
kind of fluky, but
yeah, but I don't want to do that to Leverkusen.
Right,
it's
Leverkusen was legit.
Yeah, and it's you deserved it.
Yeah.
It's just know where your place is too, this year.
Bayern will probably win.
Yeah.
That being said, Harry Kane actually leads the league in assists. He's doing fine in goals too, but I just think it's funny. Nice note that he
passes the ball too.
Yeah, he actually is a great passer for a striker. But little shout out, because I know you're listening, Omar Marmoush. You're leading the league in goals and assists in the Bundesliga, which I think is great. He's actually leading in goals at 8, but then in goals and assists combined, he's second in assists. So he's got 12 overall in 6 games. So Omar Mamouche, I know he's a huge fan of the podcast. I know he's listening. Shout out to him. He's cooking it up in the Bundesliga right now. He's putting Harry Kane to shame. Lastly, and maybe even more briefly, La Liga, just so the people know, Barca is 3 points ahead of Madrid, who are first and second. Madrid's got some serious firepower, in my opinion, Mike. It's just some chemistry they got to figure out. Barca, however, is 2000.
It's that $1 million piece of the puzzle you're putting together.
Yeah, the chemistry is there. I think Madrid's team is more talented, but Barca's known for that tiki-taka chemistry, hard to beat. And they're 3 points ahead. Lewandowski is leading La Liga in scoring, so that's what he's there for. And then Yamal, I believe, is leading the league in assists. So kind of classic Barcelona. It's weird to say that because we grew up with Barcelona always having Messi, so it's easy to say classic Barcelona. But it looks like, they're edging out Madrid for now, so we'll see. But yeah, that's pretty much the Atletico's third.
Well, the one interesting thing is that I saw it on actually Sideline Banter's Instagram today.
Nice.
Is if it's some win record in La Liga.
Oh, right. Nice. Yeah. So
that if
Madrid hasn't lost in 43 straight games, in 41 straight games, and the record is 43.
And they play Barcelona on the 43rd game.
Yeah, so if they win or draw the 42nd, that streak continues, and then to break or tie the record at 43, they are playing Barcelona, who they are 3 points behind right now in the league. So yeah, big game in, I guess in 2 weeks from now.
El Clásico. So we will actually be at your house on Sunday. I don't know if the game's Saturday or Sunday for El Clásico, but we might need 2 screens. We might need 2 screens.
If that game's on Saturday, we might need 2 screens.
That'll be vicious. Well,
sorry in advance, Leanne.
I still always root against Real, so hopefully they don't get close.
All right, that's enough for soccer, unless the ladies have anything to add. I don't think so. That's usually my wheelhouse.
I was just wondering what happened to Eden Hazard, but another day.
No, that's a great question.
Great player.
The question was what happened to Eden
Hazard, yeah. Hannah said that muffled. I don't know why.
He used to be my favorite, but I don't.
Not Hazard.
Just randomly retired, I think. And it's what happened?
So he definitely didn't randomly retire. He was absolutely a king at Chelsea for sure. Transferred to
Belgium.
No.
I thought he was.
What's his
he
national
is
team?
Belgian, so he played for Belgium national. but he played for Lille growing up in France, which a lot of good Belgians do. They play in France or Germany. It's right next to them, and those leagues are better than the Belgian league. So he played for Lille, was great. Transferred to Chelsea, was a one or two, maybe two, I think 2-time Premier League Player of the Year at Chelsea at the back end of his prime, where people would have said it's literally Messi, Ronaldo, Hazard, Neymar, Hazard, Ibrahimovic, a couple people. He goes to Real Madrid. I don't know. Literally don't know. He was maybe had 2 years left of his prime, and they knew that.
Well, people thought
I think he was 29. He got fat and then couldn't play soccer, and he got injured, missed the whole first year, came back, was way overweight, and then retired.
His downfall needs to be studied.
Yeah, like Chelsea fans love him. Chelsea fans will take him over like everybody, but Madrid fans are like, no, thank you. Yeah, weird. I don't know if you know more about it. That's pretty much what happened, right?
Yeah, I mean, pretty much. He kind of just... I mean, it was weird because he was still good in FIFA. But then,
the first year when he transferred to Madrid...
He was like an 89, 88.
It was 89. He was like the third or fourth best player in that video game for Madrid. So, people used him on Madrid all the time. But then the second year that the game came out and he was still in Madrid, he
pace went down,
super over. It was kind of like James Harden, but also forgot how to play soccer. You know how he got overweight?
Yeah, not just overweight.
Yeah, it was weird. He got hurt, overweight, and then forgot how to play. Okay, there goes soccer. Last thing, because the last thing we have on this can be somebody's 2-minute drill. So the last sport we'll cover here is Formula One. And this can be fairly quick. There's 7 drivers left still in the running. We have a race in Texas. I believe that's on the 18th of October. I say there's 7 drivers left who can technically win. That's statistically, Mike. I know Ave and I love Formula One, so you might be left in the dark a little bit here. But
I listen to it and then
Yeah, you learn as you listen.
Yeah.
So there's 7 drivers left who can actually win. But when I say realistically, I mean... if the 7th ranked person won every race and Verstappen didn't podium, they technically could win.
I did look into it because I listened to the pod.
Okay.
I do think.
Right. So the three that can win are Verstappen, who is in first with 331 points, and he has a possible 511 that he could win. Now, he will not finish with that unless he wins every race, which he hasn't won since we started the podcast, which is hilarious, but... assuming he wins a couple, he's in first. Norris has 279, so he's 50 points behind Verstappen, and he has a possible 459. And then Leclerc at 245 with a possible 425. Now, the way the races work are if you come in first, you get 25 points, and then 18, 15, 12, 10, 8, 6, 2, 1 for 2 to 10. And then the person with the fastest lap in the whole race gets an extra point. And there are 6 races left. So that's why I say realistically there are 3, maybe 2. It's really just Verstappen and Norris. Leclerc would have to have.
Verstappen.
It's probably Verstappen. I mean, the only reason why I say maybe Norris is because the podcast jinxed him.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. So I'm full aboard the Verstappen, but it's hard to bet against the Sideline Banter.
I think Verstappen will win this year. I think Norris has a lot to be proud about and has a lot to look forward to next year. And with that being said, Norris and Piastri both drive for McLaren. Piastri is in 4th place. I didn't mention him yet, but for the Conductors Cup, which is as the team, McLaren is in first, and Piastri looks great, and so does Norris. So I think McLaren's going to end up being above Red Bull, even though Verstappen may win the whole season.
Which is cool they do that too.
Yeah. All right, I said this would be a 2-minute drill, but I ran through that pretty quick. So, Mike, why don't you take this last segment, and then we'll run through everybody's 2-minute drill.
Yeah, and I can get through this one pretty quick. It just wouldn't be enough respect to, Ave if we didn't hit this WNBA topic.
Yeah. Ave's out. He would be pissed if we didn't cover this legitimately.
So I got you, Ave.
Yeah.
So Liberty beat Aces. I don't think there's any surprise there. It's just you guys said on the last pod, Liberty was just beyond the aces. I mean, no surprise.
Asia Wilson's too good. Oh, wait, no. Asia Wilson lost.
Yeah, she lost, unfortunately.
She wasn't good enough is what I meant by that.
But either way, New York's better all around. So they beat the aces. The game last night, though, was insane.
Talk to me.
So, I mean, I really just need to talk about the last 10 seconds. So Minnesota is down 3, right? 10 seconds left. They hit a 3 and 1. She gets fouled and makes the 3-pointer. Gets a free throw. She misses the free throw.
Classic.
New York calls a timeout. I'm not remembering off the top of my head, but there's got to be like an off-ball foul or something like that. Brianna Stewart gets fouled, goes to the line. It's now 83-83 with 4 seconds left.
Knocks them both.
Misses.
Mike.
Yeah.
This is the most... All right, go ahead.
Overtime. Minnesota wins in overtime and like kind of dominated in overtime.
Okay.
I think the New York Liberty are better. I think they're better all around. I think they even score better. They were even blowing Minnesota out for a bit in that game. So I'm not worried about New York. I think they win. But it is a cool thing that...
So you have Liberty over Minnesota, even though Minnesota took game 1.
Correct.
Okay.
But I think it's cool to be like, hey, both teams really should have won it with 10 seconds left. Literally both teams had free throws and both missed.
Yeah, that is a wild ending. Watching it live must have been exhilarating.
Electric.
Yeah. Okay, well, there you go. There's your WNBA wrap-up. We're in the finals. Minnesota leads 1-0, but our WNBA expert, Michael J. Kirby, still believes in New York. And that's all we got for you today. So, as always, to end the show, we have our 2-minute drill. Do we have any volunteers today for who wants to lead it off? I'm happy to if you want, but I don't know how to
lead it off. I have 2 that I can go with. I don't know if it's someone else's.
I don't even know what a 2-minute drill is.
Okay, well, I will start the 2-minute drill. Obviously, Hannah doesn't watch the show, so I'm not sure how she made it. I'm not sure how she made it on as a special guest, but the show's over since she already did it. So here we are. All right, I'll lead it off. Hannah, and for those who don't know, first-time listeners, the 2-minute drill is anything we didn't cover, anything we didn't have like enough info on, but you want it to be added to the show, throw it on in. We'll start. You can go last so you can learn and see.
I'll go second to last.
Okay, Hannah's going to go second to last. So I'll lead this off. One extra bit that I wanted to add that we didn't quite have time to cover in the show is the great, in my opinion, the GOAT of tennis, Rafael Nadal, retires. It's a sad day. I don't know if it's like soccer where you retire from individual, but you play doubles, or you play in the Olympics, but not every single day. But he retired in some context or another. The Spaniard, the clay master, we won't be able to watch him any longer. And that is a sad day for me. The other thing I wanted to add, which I thought was interesting, goes back to the Philadelphia Phillies Mets game where Lindor hit a grand slam in the playoffs to beat the Phillies. It was his second postseason grand slam. He joins only 2 other players to ever have 2 postseason grand slams, and those 2 other players are Hall of Fame Philly members Jim Thome and Shane Victorino. That is my 2-minute drill. Thank you, everybody,
Very
for
good.
listening. Who wants next?
Mike said he only has a minute to go.
All right, Mike, let's see what you got.
I would just say the Live PGA match got announced recently. It's December 19th. Bryson DeChambeau, Brooks Koepka versus Scotty Scheffler and Rory.
2v2? Scramble or best ball?
No, I mean, they usually do different, like, it's kind of like a Ryder Cup kind of thing where they'll do different matches. Like, one day they'll play an alternate shot, one day they'll play match play, one day it'll be 1v1 singles.
That's an awesome matchup.
It is awesome. And, like, you almost got to give the leg to in my opinion, to the Live guys. It's hard because, like, Brooks is a great iron player, but Bryson,
I think they're more in their
miles.
Prime than the PGA guys are.
I don't think so because you have Scotty, and I think he outweighs anyone's prime.
Yeah, but Rory's just not in prime.
Yeah, he didn't have a good year.
I mean, Scotty's
Rory's Rory, though.
It's like 1-4 versus 2-3 right now. But
1 and 4, 1 playing with 4.
right, Scotty and Rory.
Yeah.
But and then I would have DeChambeau and Brooks.
Yeah. You said 1 versus 4. That's what I was making sure.
1 and 4 versus 2 and 3. Sorry. But that being said, like Rory being 4, he could totally pull it out and be the best player in that.
Like Rory's still Rory.
Right. It's great. That's a great comm on a 2-minute drill. All right, second to last. I guess that pulls it over to you, Hannah B.
All right, this is my first 2-minute drill. A little off topic, I guess, but for all of the ultra marathoners, runners, hikers that are listeners, have you heard about Tara Dower? I think that's how you say her last name.
No, we haven't.
So she actually just finished the Appalachian Trail in entirety in like 40 days. It's 2,100 miles, and it usually takes people like 5 months to do that.
Oh my God.
She did it in 40 days, which is just insane to me.
Is that a record? Is it a woman record?
I saw a
I think
picture
so,
of her.
yeah.
She looked like she was in a cave.
She literally ran it. All 2,100 miles.
Jesus.
I just hiked. Well, not just. It was been a few months now, but 16 miles, 2,100 is
Yeah.
It
way
takes
more
me like
than you ever
4
need
hours to do like 2 miles for hiking.
Yeah,
so
you
that's
could
just
do that.
insane to me.
Andrew.
Andrew.
Dude, that's crazy.
Yeah.
That's like
that's wild.
as crazy as what he did.
The crazy part is I would still bet Andrew.
2,100 miles hiking or 3,300 miles running.
Neither.
yeah. Stay at home and do a podcast about
2 minute
sports. Let's just put a parlay together about college football. How about that? Oh, that's cool, Hannah. Thank you for sharing. All right, Jessica, round us up.
Yeah, mine is first and foremost, I hope everyone's okay with the double hurricane. But now we have
what's up
Hurricane
with that
Milton that just
back-to-back?
came. Yeah, that's
What are they,
crazy.
the Bulls?
In particular, the Tampa Bay Rays roof was blown off Wednesday night, and this comes at a really interesting time for them because they're actually doing a restructure and a rebuild of the stadium to be ready for the 2028 season. And now they have to figure out with the government how much funds they're going to get.
Oh, yeah, that thing got
for
torn
3
apart.
years. Like they're like, okay, now we need to.
Crazy,
so
dude.
it's a really interesting situation happening. It might even involve the community saying we're going to help our local Rays and blah blah
Yeah,
blah.
they have to might play at other stadiums, like at U Tampa and stuff.
Yeah, that roof got
Who
blown
knows
off.
what Tampa's looks like then?
True.
But again, I hope everybody's okay. But that was something that happened in the midst of our playoffs right now.
Yep. Is that it?
So, yeah.
Crazy
All
the
right.
Phillies lose and crazy hurricanes happen.
Yeah. It's a sign the world is ending.
Okay.
All right, everybody. Well, that was episode 14. We thank you always for joining us, sharing the bants. We will catch you next week. Hopefully Abe's back, but thank you again to Mike and Hannah for joining us today.
Yay.
And we will see you next time. Peace.